Nice.
Ing.
Music.
So, the last time we all met. By the way, guys, this is session 10. We are officially in the double digits.
Yeah,
Woo! We made it.
amazing.
That means we're gonna
Ow,
survive
ow.
forever.
Forever. Nothing can take us down.
Nothing can take us down.
Forever and forever and forever.
Ominous.
Death
Love
and
it.
necrosis and betrayer's blood.
Oh, love it.
Betrayer's
Oh
blood.
God.
Betrayer's blood.
Betrayer's blood.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
It was an uncomfortable feeling, and it left Dominic feeling vulnerable. It was as though the creature was staring through him and learning things about him in the process. The party opted to leave the creature alone and travel further into the cavern after discovering that one of the bridges spanning the pit had been rigged to collapse. The group followed a nearby stairway that ended at a dead end flanked by two doors. Entering the room on the left, Dominic discovered a panicked goblin tied up and gagged to a chair in the middle of the room. Against either wall flanking the goblin stood two rusted suits of armor. The goblin squealed at Dominic, but could not be understood because of the gag. And in an attempt to calm the goblin, Dominic tried to reassure the panicking creature. But as he spoke aloud, the suits of armor animated and attacked. Retreating back up the stairs for a better position, Kitland spotted the one-eyed creature now emerging from the pit. Bernie and Stars witnessed the creature as well and went to assist Kitland, while Dominic and Ku held off the animated suits of armor. Using his grappling hook in a creative way, Kitland, along with Bernie and Stars, was able to subdue the monster, injuring it grievously and causing it to retreat back to its pit. The armors, however, were putting up quite the fight, and Dominic was getting the worst of it. Ku had pulled the goblin prisoner, who had fainted almost immediately after the fight began, to safety, while Bernie wild-shaped into the form of a spider and crawled into one of the suits, hoping to disrupt the suit by ending her wild shape early. Bernie reformed into her dwarven self, sending both her and the suit crashing into the far wall. And this distraction gave Dominic the time he needed to retreat and catch his breath, as he spotted the unconscious goblin still lying on the floor. Meanwhile, Kitland had rappelled down into the pit to retrieve his grappling hook, still lodged into the one-eyed monstrosity's arm. And as he neared the creature, he could see that it was still breathing, although its wounds appeared fatal. Lighting a torch, Kitland pushed it into the creature's chest, where one of his oil-soaked arrows was still embedded, and the arrow ignited. The creature burst into flames and burned into ash at Kitland's feet. Staris, you watched silently from the ledge above, as Kitland recovered his hook and then noticed something else in the pit. On the corpse of a long-dead human was a rapier of good make with an unusual glint. Um, Real quick, over the table, I forgot something last session and all of the chaos of everything. Kitland, in the notes, I have written that anyone who goes down into the pit would clearly notice a secondary item, which was like a chest filled with some goodies.
Ooh.
So
cool.
we're just gonna retcon really quick that while you were also down in that pit and recovering that rapier, there's a small, it looked like a small rotted footlocker made out of wood, kind of, you know, loosely buried under some rubble and dirt, and open it up. It's not trapped or anything like that. Open it up. You would have found uh, 160 silver pieces,
Damn.
as well as 120 gold pieces in coin.
Oh, holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Wow.
What the
We're
fuck?
rich.
My goodness.
Vaulty.
And
Alright, I
in
can pay my guy now.
in
Mm.
addition to the money, you also
Nice.
would have found various like stones, like smooth, polished, semi-precious stones, and like really small, like almost minor gemstones. You see like a small pearl, like one single loose pearl, and a bunch of other just like various precious doodads. These are various spell components, and the value of all of the spell components you find inside this chest equals 75 gold pieces.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
So that's
Okay.
75 gold pieces of consumable materials that can be used to cast spells.
Cool.
Nice.
Specifically,
Alright,
spells with
hold
the
on.
material component that requires the
So-
cost.
Now does Kitlin tell us all this, or does he just
75 gold.
Yeah, the real question.
Consumable. And then how much for the just
And material spell. So it's 160 silver and 120 gold, and then additional 75 gold that's just in material spell components.
okay, 160 silver, yeah, that's what you said? And then-
Yeah.
And then how much gold?
120?
120. Alright. Cool.
He's got
Sorry,
goals for that
my
gold.
computer
Damn,
randomly
bro.
decided to.
Yeah, he does have goals for that gold. That's why I'm asking. Is he actually tell
yeah.
us, or is he just kind of pocket and go? I didn't
yeah,
find
I'll just
anything.
say, yeah, I'll tell you guys right away.
So you got all that?
I did, yep.
You also would have found 2 potions of healing
Jesus
Wow.
Yeah, it just keeps on coming.
Hell yeah.
and a tube that appears to contain some type of scroll.
Ooh. Damn, you found a shit ton of stuff down there.
Healing
Hmm.
So
tube
sorry, I forgot to mention that last session.
with scroll. Hell yeah. Alright. Cool.
Back to our recap. Dominic shook the goblin awake, and remembering where it was, the small goblin shouted out a single word, Illifarn, which caused the animated suits to suddenly become still and motionless. The threat was finally over. Bernie and Stars both recognized the strange word. It was an elven name for the region that was used a long, long time ago, meaning that whoever had set the password was clearly well read. The goblin now introduced himself as Droop and appeared to be a prisoner here. He knew a little of the goblins that called themselves Cragmaw, but insisted that he hailed from a different clan called the Scrap Tops, who prided themselves in making quote-unquote stupid shit. Recovering his belongings, Droop showed the group a small clockwork beetle that, when wounded up, could fly about the room on its own accord. Meanwhile, Dominic studied the rapier Kitland had found, and was able to identify the blade as Talon, an exquisitely made rapier used by the previous owner of this manor, who had died in battle defending his home from a horde of orcs, goblins, and human marauders. He was now the lonely corpse at the bottom of the pit. The blade itself was once immensely powerful, but that power had long been lost to time and rust. Yet even in its ruined state, it was still a superb weapon. And that's where we are right now. The fight has just ended. You are all making your way slowly to this room where you found Droop, who has just dumped out all of these things from his knapsack that he recovered, as well as some other various belongings that you see him kind of like looping to his belt. You do see that as he's gathering all of his stuff, anyone who's in the room, very clearly that he does get a dagger and put it onto the belt, arming himself. The various things that, yeah, and you can say or interact to that, whatever you want.
Well, I just have a question before we start.
Sure.
We had like temporary hit points from something a while back. Do we still have those? It was. I mean, does anybody remember what we got them from? It was
think,
We got
5 for
aided
me.
before we
Mhm.
rolled in.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
Do
think
we
that
just
was
hold
that
on to those
happened.
until
8
we go
hours on
rest?
aid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Y'all
think it
remember when
might
that was
be-
cast?
Yeah, we visited homeboy in the town master's office
Sildar.
before we
in
set
Town
out.
Master's
Yeah,
Hall.
Yeah.
Sildar. Yep.
Before
Okay.
we headed out, yeah. So that was probably
Okay. And that was like right before you thought you were going to go fight all the red brands at
Yeah.
the Sleeping Giant in. But
Correct.
then from
Yeah.
there, it was like, okay, they're not here, and you went straight to the manor. You spent a
Correct.
few
Yeah.
hours investigating at the manor before you found the tunnel and made your way inside. So we'll say when Sildar cast it, it was pretty early in the morning, right? It was like 8, 9 o'clock ish, somewhere in there.
Probably, yeah.
That felt about right.
That
Yeah,
sounds
we'll
about
say
right.
9 a.m. to keep it simple. Because you guys had an early start. We'll say it's like late afternoon between getting together this morning, speaking with Sildar, going to the Stonehill Inn, and realizing that the Red Brands had left, making your way to the manor, investigating the rubble, finding the tunnel, making your way into the tunnel, and now this fight. We'll say we're looking at. You're unsure of the time exactly because you're not outside and you're stuck underground, but later than noon, earlier than 2 p.m., somewhere in there.
So we still have a few more hours because it should stay until about 5.
Oh, 5 p.m. So yeah, you've got it for at least 3 more hours, probably longer.
Cool.
So you're probably like right at the halfway-ish point, you reckon, with it. Anyways, you see Droop has emptied his knapsack of like all these random items on the bed. The one he grabbed was this like clockwork bug that was kind of like just in the shape of a very generic looking beetle. And when he wound it up, its wings like on its back opened up and began to flutter and fly about the room, much like a real beetle would. And as it does, it makes this very loud, audible kind of noise as it like flaps around, and you can see like all these various gears kind of turning as it like shimmers with like spell energy. You also see what looks a like a big lightning bug or firefly that's made very much in the same fashion. Uh, and you see several um, like flasks and like different kind of clay pots or like woven baskets. You actually see 2 flasks that are filled with this kind of greenish, brownish, almost effervescent, bubbly looking liquid. And then you see like a small woven basket and a small clay pot, both of which seem to kind of rattle and shake and make some kind of percussive noise as they like roll around on the bed as he like scoops them and like clips them onto various belts and hooks on his outfit.
All right, what have you got in your little flask there?
Oh, these over here. And he points down to like the liquid. He's like, oh, these are just acid, filled with acid. You can get it pretty much anywhere. There's a lot of beasts and bugs, so you just gotta squeeze it out and collect it.
Ooh.
All right. Are you selling anything that you've got on you today?
Yeah. And he like just unclips a flask of acid. He's like, you can take it. I got 2. I got an extra. Thanks for saving me.
Right.
Nice.
And what about that beetle there? Is that for sale?
Oh, this guy. And you kind of see he like collects the beetle and the lightning bug. He's like, these are kind of precious to me. I think I'd like to hang on to these. Like,
All right.
if you got coin to spare, I mean, I got some other neat things. And he like starts unclipping like the clay pot and the like wicker basket. And he's like, have you ever seen something like these before? And he like shakes them like really close to your face and steps up to you. And you hear just like one. It just sounds like almost like a maraca, as like a bunch of things are just bouncing around in it, and the other one just starts buzzing loudly and angrily.
Oh
Ooh.
no! Oh no!
That. What is it?
This one, the buzzing one, he says, called a basket of bees, and this one, he holds up like the clay pot, is like this is a jar of grub.
Can I buy the little thing of bees?
You want a basket of bees?
Be careful with that,
He's
Kitlin.
like, that'll be, and he like stares at it really hard and kind of like furrows his brow, like he's like really concentrating and thinking. 4 gold pieces.
All right, you've got yourself a deal.
He hands it
No
towards you and
haggle
like greedily takes the
whatsoever.
gold. He like bites one and tries to like bend it and pockets it, and he goes, "Oh, thanks." And then he like clips the other one like back to his hook. So yeah, you have. Oh, excuse me, Kitland. You have a. You can just add a clay jar of grubs to your inventory.
Or the bees, right?
It
That's all
has
I got.
a. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Wicker basket of bees. You can add to your inventory. It has a range of 20 feet. You choose what square you want that thing to land in, and that's where it'll go.
Cool.
20 feet away
And
from
then
you.
That's
a
pretty
flask,
great.
a flask of acid as
Flask
well.
of acid, I believe you can look up in D&D Beyond. That's a legit item that just exists in the game.
Okay. Cool.
It might be like flask acid or acid flask or flask of acid or like some variation like that, but it should be a green item, I think, that you can look up and add. But let me know if you have any issues with that.
That's fun.
So, what are you guys doing here? And he kind of like sits on the edge of the bed and just like stares at all of you, like dumbfounded.
Are we all in the room at this point? I think I was probably hanging back with Dominic for a second, but
After I probably identified the sword and packed it up, I probably would have headed inside.
okay,
Like,
cool.
I would have stumbled inside. I'm still very hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I'll do
Maybe
the
we
same.
should rest.
It's not a bad idea.
I think, yeah, I would appreciate that. And you just see Dominic just holding his side. There's probably bruises all over his face. Yeah, I think a rest is a good idea.
Dominic, I hate to say it, but you've looked better.
I felt better, Bernie.
Dominic, I've got these potions of healing. If you'd like to take one now, if you're scared, or
Well,
we
if
can
we're
try
gonna-
to rest here in this room.
Well, yeah, I think if we take a rest, we need to keep those for emergencies. It seems pretty quiet now. I think if we can get some rest, we can probably heal up.
I've still got a few herbs that I could probably put on some of those wounds. Help them heal a little faster.
Well, I'd appreciate that.
Come on then. And then
That's,
Bernie's going to kind of push past a little bit into the room and just kind of start pulling out some herbs from her kit.
Yeah.
Can I give a good berry to everyone?
Very
And
nice.
one for you, and one for you, and one for you.
You get a berry.
You get a berry, and you get a berry.
Yay.
Amazing.
Thanks, Cap. Cool. Thanks,
I
Coop.
will
So is-
immediately eat my berry.
Eating
I
the
can-
berry, in addition to restoring the 1 HP, also does if like any like hunger pangs that might be setting in because
Yeah.
it's been a few hours since your last meal, just like instantly settles and does leave you kind of feeling full and energized a little bit as well.
Perfect. And then as soon as we're all in, I'm going to kind of close the door and just kind of make sure that it's, closed and nobody knows we're in here.
If we're resting, I can play a song to bolster us.
That would be wonderful. But love hearing your music anyway, Stars.
La 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 la.
Very subtle. Yeah. That's it.
Oh.
And everybody in the room is weeping after Saris.
That's great.
So, yeah. If we are able to take a
So-
short rest,
so the
I'm
goal-
going to take a short rest.
Cool. So the goal is to just kind of take a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm down.
Do we have to be
Awesome.
sleeping to take a short rest? Can I tinker?
No. So a short rest is just pretty much like an hour of like no strenuous activity. So like anything like walking or obviously combat, or tinkering would probably be okay depending on the scale of the project. But generally tinkering is like small fiddly things, so that's generally okay. But like doing blacksmithing or carpentry probably couldn't be done in a short rest.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like
So
to,
you,
if it's cool, take my twine, and I found acid vial. I didn't find acid flask.
okay,
But
I think that's
for
the same. What is it a throwable object or is it like something you apply?
flash the contents on a
Does it
creature
say?
within 5 feet, or throw the vial up to
Okay,
20
that
feet,
might.
shattering it on impact.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Um, I'd like to tie that with twine to the head of an arrow, and then uh, use my purple and black and blue feathers on the back end to
Hmm.
counteract the weight.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Um. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. You can do that.
2d6
Was
acid
that like
damage.
was
That's
that
awesome.
a separate like spell component item that you found the black and
Yeah, when I
the
got bit by
feathers?
those birds at the Goblin Cave, and then I wore them for juggling.
Nice.
Yeah,
How many? What was the value of it? Do you remember?
5 gold worth of blue, black, and purple feathers.
Nice.
It was 5 gold. Okay. Um, I'll say it'll take for something like this 5 more gold pieces of spell components, which you can just deduct from what you found in the chest.
75. Okay.
Yeah. So like spell component gold is like interchangeable, right? Even though I didn't specify that you found feathers in the chest, I like your flavor
Gotcha.
for that, but like I'm just more interested in you paying the value than having a specific item. So yeah, so I'll say that with that little extra material that you found, that you're able to kind of like weigh down and use to like, even with like the influence of spellcraft, like even though what you're doing right now is practical, there's still like an element of you channeling the weave as you do it, which causes these tinkered items to be so successful. Um, and yeah, you have an arrow basically, yeah, with the acid flask attached to it. So you can, if you hit a creature with that arrow specifically, you can add that acid flask damage to the uh, damage you would initially do.
That's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
So
Oh,
like for a
yeah.
big hit,
Great.
yeah.
That's
If
awesome.
you crit on
Way
that
to
arrow,
catch it.
that's gonna mess something up.
Yeah. For sure.
What's everybody else doing during this short rest? You guys can go ahead and roll any hit dice you want to roll as well now, and I think Staris, your ability lets them roll an additional one or add a bonus to it.
Add a 1d6 extra hit points.
Cool. So if you roll any hit dice, you can roll an additional 1d6 just one time
Correct.
and add
Yes.
that as well.
Cool.
Yep.
Now,
It's like,
this
I
is
rolled
where
one
do
for
I
you.
do
Just
I
kidding.
decide to take 2 dice or just 1 dice?
Yeah.
This is where I need to make the choice.
Yeah.
Remember, you only recover half on a long rest, right? So if you have 2 hit dice because you're level 2 and you've used both of them, you'll only get 1 back after you finish
Yeah.
the long rest, and then you get the second back after a second long rest.
Yeah, I'll probably just use the 1 because I have the +6 d6, so I'll just use the 1. I think that'll be fine.
Nice. I think I think that Barony is, as she's pulling out her herbs and starting to kind of mash them up with some stones on the ground and create
Fucking shitty.
a little.
Sorry.
Oh no!
No.
a little concoction and paste it lightly onto Domic's wounds. Some of them. She's also just casually talking to Droop and trying to understand a little bit more about him. You know, she turns to him
totally.
and is just like, Droop, are you close with your clan? With the other, the scrap tops?
I mean, it could be a worse life for a goblin. It's a good bunch, you know. I like them. I wouldn't expect them to stick their neck out, and try and rescue me anytime soon or anything like that. But
Aye.
now we generally uh, take care of each other isn't really the right word, but we kind of live and let live, if you know what I mean.
Aye, I
Good
do.
enough.
I do. And will you go back to them when you get out of here?
Yeah, I guess I'd like to. Why? Where are you going?
Well, I suppose we came down here to find the wizard, but according to you, you've been a prisoner by him. Is there anything more that you can tell us? We'd like to get out of here too.
Um, yeah, maybe I could. Do you think I could tag along with you guys at least until we get, uh, somewhere a little bit more safe?
Aye, the help would be much appreciated. You have
All
quite
right.
a
Yeah,
knack
I'm
for
not good in the
inventions.
fight any. Well, thanks. He kind of blushes a little bit.
Mhm.
Uh, I mean, you're welcome to use them if you think they might help. I just like them back is all. But I gotta warn you, I'm the kind of scraps and fighting and stuff you guys do. I'm no good at any of that kind of thing. So if any fights break out, I'll probably just run away and hide. If,
Aye.
if that's okay.
Stay to the back. I'll do our best. Caitlin
You'll
here.
never even know I was here.
Caitlin here has quite a knack for creation too. Maybe you could teach him a few tricks along the way.
That'd be
He
great.
seemed interested in my stuff. He bought a basket of bees. Be careful with that, by the way. Yeah, keep your eye on it. You don't want to sit on it by accident. I had a cousin who did that. Well, I had a cousin. Anyways,
Right. Do you have to feed them?
I mean, oh yeah. Actually, and he like reaches into like a pocket and like pulls out like a finger. Like no, that's not it. He, like reaches into another pocket and pulls out like a small little glass vial, like a tiny little vial that has like this brownish, goldenish, kind of sticky, syrupy liquid in it. And it's a woven basket, so air can get in and out. They can breathe just fine. And there's like a little like corked hole on one side, and he's like, if you open this up and pull it out, and there's like a tube kind of attached, or like a long stick attached to the other end of the cork, and he just like pours a little bit of the sticky substance onto that tube, and it slowly makes its way into the wicker basket. He's like, yeah, just this might, maybe a couple times a day, yeah, just a little bit. That'll be good.
Great. Good crap. Thanks.
Is there a
Yeah,
queen
sure.
in there? Could they make honey if we keep them?
Oh no queen, no, just a bunch of angry, pointy, violent, flying insects.
Got it.
I want to do nothing but harm to whoever lets them out of that thing. They are very pissed off, very pissed off. In there, they don't like it at all. But these little guys are pretty nasty too. And he kind of slaps the clay pot. But you can find them pretty much anywhere if you just know the right spots to look. Making the baskets and pots really takes most of the work, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
And what do the grubs do?
Yes.
He got too excited.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Have you guys ever seen a rock grub before? And as
No.
he smiles, like you can see, like his teeth are janky. They're not filed and sharpened like the cragmalls were, which kind of gave them their name. Some are, flat. Some are sharp. Some are not there. Some are rotting. But it's and you get like a little bit of his breath. Those of you that are really close to him, and it is rank. He seems friendly. He's not hostile, but this is definitely still a goblin in front of you. He pulls off the clay pot connected to him, and like gently like unscrews a part of it that you couldn't otherwise see. And he's like, "All right, I would stand back if I were you. And
Hey.
he opens it and sets it down, and he pulls out like a small tool, like some tweezers, and he like plucks one out, and he looks at you, Bernie, and he's like, "Go ahead and screw that back on." And he looks down at like the lid he just like took off and set down. Like, hurry before one gets out.
I
Seriously.
immediately, yeah.
You put it back on. And he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna need you again. Well, put this little guy up." And he pulls out a single rot grub, and you see just this like fleshy, black and purple and pale grub that's like maybe the size of half of a thumb. And
Ugh.
it just squirms at the end of his little tweezers that he's holding it, and you see its mouth open and it splits apart in like 4 sections, kind of like Predator, and you see these
Ew.
like sharp, jagged barbs that begin rotating in different directions, several rows of them, like an inverse drill.
What?
And he says,
Oh
"This is a
my.
rot grub. A single one of these has the potential to kill somebody." You see its mouth, and he like puts its finger really close to its mouth, and it's like the extended parts of its mouth like reach out to try to like grab his finger, and he has to pull it away. And he's like, "Ah!" Oh. He's like, "If this thing gets a hold of you, it can burrow inside of you, and it starts making its way to your brain. And if it gets to your brain, you're dead.
Oh.
If it ever happens, you know what you need to do? What you gotta do is you gotta get a torch, or if you can cast like a firebolt or produce flame spell or something like that, and start applying heat immediately. It causes the worm to freak out, and it begins retreating back out the way it came to try to get away. And that's the only way you can get it out is fire. Or if you got a way to like neutralize poison somehow, that generally works pretty well. As well. But yeah, these guys are nasty. Gotta be careful for rock grubs. Don't let them. Don't let him. And he kind of like waves it in front of you. He's like, "Don't let it get you. You're gonna die."
Hey,
Go
careful,
eat it.
careful.
Go eat it.
Put it away.
No. What the? What?
Right,
What are
can
you
I,
doing with those throop? Why do you have a whole clay bottle of them?
Well, you know, in case an evil wizard and his ridiculously strong metal suits of armors wanted to sneak up on me in the woods and try to kidnap me. Oh wait, that happened anyways. They're meant for defense, but you know,
Well,
like
how
I
long
said,
have
I'm
you
not
been
used
here,
to this
Droop?
crap. Oh God, what's today?
Monday.
Anybody want to know what the days of the week are?
What are the days of the
Um,
week? I do.
Oh God, okay. Okay, so there are 10 days in a week. Every day ends in I don't know, some what's the end of a word, teacher wife?
Teacher wife.
A suffix?
Yeah, they have some suffix. I think it's da. But so the 10 days of the week are Vosa, Loon, Tusa, Waste, Thrun, Voss, Sele, Mide, Thera, and Vin. But like with da like preceding all of them. So it would be like
Lunada.
Vosa da, Loon da, Tusa da, Vice da, Thrun da, Vos da, Sele da, Mide da, Thera da, and Vin da are the days of the week.
Totally
In case you
knew
wanted to
that.
there's
Great.
We all knew
also
that.
there's also 3 weeks in a month and 13 months in a year in our world. So there you go.
Okay, cool.
I wrote all of that
The-
down.
I know, I did too.
The months like loosely follow the moon cycles as well. So like every month kind of like the middle of the month is the full moon, and then the new moon, and then the full moon, and then the new moon. But yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
Before you put
Anyway.
that rock grub away, do you think it could eat through a leather pouch?
No, it's generally got to be like skin to skin contact. But no, they have a pretty tough time getting through leather, even cloth, steel. You're safe, but these little suckers, man, if they get like stuck in your armor and they wiggle their way through, you can never tell. They're sneaky, you gotta watch out for them. But nah, generally, if they're on your clothes, you're safe. It's once they hit your skin that you're in trouble. Remember, fire.
Could I buy that one that you've got out?
Kind of holds his like tongs back over his shoulder, his little tweezers over his shoulders. That's 4 gold.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
What?
Uh,
Old man, do you know how to bargain? Like, it's a
I love
grub.
it. That's great.
how about
What?
could you do 2?
I don't know what numbers mean.
Yeah, I figured as much, Drew.
How about 2?
I'll do 5.
Silver.
But you,
That's the wrong direction, mate.
Wait, is it?
The lower you go, the higher the
I'll meet
value.
you. I'll meet you. Roll me a persuasion check, Kitland.
That's Bernie.
I know, but Kitland's the one
No,
who's trying to.
Kitland's the one that's
trying to
haggling.
barter.
Got it.
which one is it? Persuasion, you said?
Persuasion? Yeah.
Cool. It's a nat 1.
Oh boy.
Okay. Last offer. 4 gold.
Right. Well, I think these might come in handy. I'll give you 4 gold for it, but you've got to use the tweezers and put it in this little leather pouch.
Okay. And he plops the little grub in your little leather pouch. So you have a rock grub in a small leather pouch that you carry in your person.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
tie that up with my
Oh,
twine
God.
also.
Terrifying.
Now, I'm
Okay.
gonna say this out loud so everybody hears it. Hitland, please don't put your hand in your leather pouch and forget about it, okay?
Right. And I'll poke a couple little holes near the top so it can breathe.
Okay, cool. Gonna make a note really quick in my notebook and
Yes,
take out
please make
4
a note in your
gold
notebook.
from your
Oh
inventory.
my god.
And do you all have any other questions for group?
How much else of the rooms have you seen? Or have you just been
Only
sequestered
this.
down here?
Only this one, but I will say this place used to be a lot busier. There used to be a lot of these like bandit type folk, humans mostly, a couple of dwarves, elves with a mix. I don't know, you all look the same to me.
Wow, rude.
It had a key little scar branded onto them though. Ugly thing.
The red brand.
Used to be a few of them around here, but I haven't seen them all morning. Yeah. Red brands.
Well,
Sounds right.
we sort of killed their leader earlier, so that's probably why they're not here anymore.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Cool. Well, are you like heroes or something?
I think hero is not a word I would use, but we're here to help the town, that's for one.
Well, you're my heroes. You saved my ass.
Well, you were in trouble and you were tied up. I wasn't going to just let you sit in that chair.
Where is your clan? Where are you from? Nearby?
Oh, we got a spot not too far from here. It's in the woods north of here. We found a little speck of ruins and kind of made it our own, a few modifications here and there.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
Does anybody have a map? Do you mind showing us on a map in the general vicinity it could be if we want to maybe meet the rest of your clan?
Does anyone have a map?
Let's see.
think so.
I have.
Like, yeah, you got one?
Fuck.
Sure don't.
Sure don't.
Fresh out.
Fresh out.
Weird.
Weird how adventurers don't have maps. Interesting.
Yeah, what's the button for that again?
Yeah. It's
Which
M.
keyboard
It's
button is
M.
it?
M. It's usually M.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
usually is
usually
M. M or tab.
Why am I jumping?
I'm dancing. I'm dancing now.
He says he tells you that he's like, I haven't seen many other rooms. It was pretty much a haze when I got here. And they just kept asking me over and over and over again, like, where the kings hold up. And it's like, hey, not every goblin, follows the goblin monarchy, right? Like, just because I am one doesn't mean I'm automatically lumped in with those guys. It's like kind of annoying, right? It's like, oh, are you a cleric of Moradin? And he like kind of like gestures to you, Bernie.
Do I know what the clerics of Moradin are?
As a dwarf, I'm sure you're familiar with the deity's name. It's the god um of wait shit. Actually, let me check my pantheon before I just start saying random bullshit because I'm in character as a dumb goblin.
I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go say goodnight to my kids. I'll be right back.
Cool.
he's the god of like creation. He's a god that like a lot of artisans pray to. He's generally depicted as a dwarf. There are a lot of dwarven smiths. There are a lot of various types of smiths. But he's indicating it to you as something you would pick up as like a general
Yes.
stereotype.
Totally,
You're a dwarf. That
totally.
means you are super
Totally.
religious, and this is the one's god like viewpoint you really like to follow.
I think Barney just chuckles a little bit and like, I have gotten that once or twice before, but no, like you, I stray a bit from the
Hey, give
path.
me a break.
I agree. There's more of us out there than just the ones.
Thank you. Anyway, this wizard seemed obsessed with, figuring out where the Goblin King's secret, castle is or whatever. That's what he kept beating the crap out of me for. Oh, but I didn't see anything, but I did hear something. That was my point. Sorry, I got really depressed because I thought about how much they beat me.
Wait,
I could.
hold on, just a second. Why were they beating you?
They were torturing me for information about where the Goblin King was hiding, or where the
Goblin
Goblin
King.
King's secret castle is located. Yeah. So there's this Goblin King, and like all the other Goblin Kings kind of follow the Goblin King, and he's like the head honcho dude, and he's got like this super secret badass castle out in the woods. But like all the goblins, kind of still know about it, and it's like he's gonna take over like the whole area one day, and he's raising an army and like all that, like classic Goblin King stuff. Anyway, he's a real asshole. But the Red Brands, I heard them over talking about how like this place has like so many secret passages and doorways and shit. It's hard to like keep track sometimes. I heard one guy say he was like trying to go through a wall for like 10 minutes before he realized the secret passage was like on the other end of the room or something like that.
Hey, good to know, I suppose.
Right.
Yep,
I mean,
that's
do
why
you
I
know
thought it was
what's
important.
directly across the hallway from us, behind that door?
Really? I don't know much about this place. Like I said, they dragged me in here when I was unconscious, and I haven't left the room. It's been cracked open a couple of times, and I think I've seen, uh, like a lot of those, what you call them, Red Brand folks hanging out in there. But who knows, man?
Yeah, I tell if he's telling me truth.
What's your passive insight?
12.
12. Roll me an insight check.
That is another nat 1.
Oh gosh!
Get him out
Get
early.
out now.
Oh,
Yep.
jeez.
He seems like he's been real with you the whole time.
Yeah.
You have no reason to distrust him. He was clearly a prisoner here. You can see bruises on his body that validate his story. You can see where his like wrists are kind of raw from where he's been tied up for a while, like several days. Yeah, he seems honest.
Um,
Weirdly spirited for someone who maybe has been tortured for a few days,
Yeah.
but otherwise normal.
Are there any candles in this room?
You see two candles on a nearby table. One is pretty much all the way burnt out. Another one is like a little uh more than halfway burnt down. Like a little less than half of a candle left.
Is it lit?
No.
Okay.
No, in fact, it's pretty dark down here. Unless you guys produce your own light sources. It
Can
seems
I
like
just-
nobody has been going around upkeeping the torch sconces in a while.
Can I just light that with a tinderbox? Is that enough to do?
Oh yeah, that's fine. You can easily light it, and it casts a faint glow into the room. I'm sure Saris is keeping her dancing lights going to give you guys light,
Mhm.
like a soft glow is needed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't ask because of the light. as I'm sure. You know. I want just while like Zama's gone, I want to prep one more thing before we go out.
Sure.
So I kind of want to let the candle burn for a little bit, and then take an arrow and coat the arrowhead in wax from that candle until it's like fully coated and not sharp anymore.
Okay.
And then I want to very carefully open up my leather sack with the grub inside and stick the arrowhead slowly down in there and then retie it. With the goal that the arrowhead does not punch through the bag, but once it hits somebody, it'll break through the wax and split the bag open, and the grub will now be on the enemy.
I will say with everything you've already
cool.
done during this short rest, you could not also accomplish this task
Okay.
in the amount of time.
Sure.
That's really cool.
So
That's
if you
a
want
great
to
idea.
continue to stay here for another hour, you can attempt this. But yeah, this would take like another short rest amount of time.
Okay.
Because I'll say like doing all like the acid vial stuff took a
Yeah.
minute as well.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I like where your head's at. I
Yeah.
just don't think you can do all of that right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, do I have a wax arrowhead? Or just I spent the whole time
I mean,
doing
I
the,
would say that like
You have candles.
no, I'll say that like you
Candles.
knew Hitler would have known that like okay, our time's coming to an end. It looks like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are maybe getting restless and ready to move on. So
Yeah.
I'll leave it up to you. If you want to have taken that last like few minutes to just melt the candle down and get a wax arrowhead, you can, or you could have been like, oh, I don't have time for this. I'll do this later, and not have done that. So your call. If you want a wax arrowhead, sure. If not,
No,
you don't have to.
I'll do it later.
Okay, cool. Anybody else doing anything, or you guys start like kind of getting restless and ready to explore some more of this dungeon?
Yeah, no, I think that Bernie like rubs the last of the salve onto Domic's arms and just kind of gives him a little pat. Says, "All right, friend. Hopefully that'll heal a little bit better and maybe cause a little less pain." And then she'll kind of pack up her herbal kit and stow it away.
I appreciate it, Bernie.
Cool.
It's starting to feel a little bit better already.
Great.
Very cool. Very cool. Dominic, do you have temporary hit points right now?
I do not. I did not get the aid when we left.
Cool. I will say Bernie's salve gives you 3 temporary hit points.
Oh, thank you,
Nice.
DM.
Nice.
Sure. And I will also say that with this, Bernie, your herbalism kit, you're starting to run out of ingredients. You've maybe got
Sure.
like
Yep.
one more use of it left before it will need like refilling.
Got it.
Cool. Yeah. So are we just gonna like sit around here and like shoot the shit all day, or are you guys gonna go fuck up a wizard?
Well, the plan is to do some reconnaissance, and if a wizard attacks, then probably fuck it up. But I
We're
don't
just
really
talking.
want to aggravate something that could possibly annihilate us with a word.
Hmm.
Oh, you're the hero. I followed your lead, but it's cool if I kind of tag along with you guys.
Yeah, you can
Hey,
hang
we'll be
out
away. I
with
promise.
us.
End of the act.
You can just watch yourself, eh? Droop. You know, we hardly know you. You're not part of our group.
Okay.
Rude.
That was kind of rude, yeah. Not Bernie.
I'm just saying. And she's still like packing up her herbal kit and like she glances over at Droop. I'm just saying. If you do go behind our backs or something goes wrong, watch yourself.
He like finger guns you and like winks, and then he's like, "I don't know, I did that. This is kind of awkward now." And message received. Then he kind of like claps and like looks away and like goes and like fiddles with something on the desk, and it's just kind of like.
Gets his fidget spinner.
Yeah. What an
Starts
alpha.
playing with his beetle.
What an alpha over here just playing with his stuff. Yeah, fidgeting with a bunch of
Starts
things.
winding up the beetle and immediately starts making like a very loud like.
Oh my god.
So can we complete a short rest?
You can now complete your short rest.
Cool. And so
Very
do
good.
I press roll hit die, or do I click the box and then press take short rest?
If you need to use a hit die, it has to be checked, and then when you hit short rest, it'll just take it away. If you don't need it, you can just uncheck it.
I mean, we're gonna lose our thing. I've got a good berry. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'll go ahead and eat the good berry now before it spoils.
Yeah,
and gain
that
one.
works. You can eat your good berry
Nice.
anytime.
Okay. Sweet.
Cool. Yeah, Stars has just been playing pretty much this entire time. La 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 la.
Nice.
Just like that.
Amazing.
Is your arm still messed up, Stars? You still are
Oh,
messed
yeah.
up, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I'm still messed up.
Yeah, because you haven't actually gotten to
yeah.
see a healer yet.
What instrument were you playing?
I was singing.
My voice
I was
is my
just humming
instrument.
to myself.
I was just singing.
Yes.
It's like, shit, what can I
Well
play?
done.
Well done. All right.
Awesome.
Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna say Droop also is gonna get to roll a hit die for his
Nice.
he needs
Get a
to
Droop.
get a droop. Get yourself 10
And I
hit
guess
points.
since he's not part of the group, he won't get Stars' D6, Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie.
He can hear it though. Yes,
What?
if he can hear it.
Bernie's just
Is
suspicious.
it any creature that can hear it?
If you or any friendly creatures who can hear your performance or gain hit
Friendly.
points at the end of it, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, he is friendly,
he's friendly towards us. I
Yeah.
feel.
so
I would
I feel
argue.
like that.
Okay.
I would argue that, yeah.
If you
This
spell, if
this
you
one's
spell
for you,
Stars,
Droop.
if you want him to. No.
So the way that
Cool.
Stars your thing works,
What
like
are you
if I did check a box, then I could have added 6 or D6 to it.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Bernie's prejudice is
So
coming
whatever you would have rolled, whatever you would have rolled plus another D6.
out.
All right. Okay.
Oh man, I think that sounded a lot meaner than I intended it to.
It really did. It
Yeah,
was
but
like
kinda like-
really
It was,
underhanded, and it was like,
it
ooh,
was more
that was a
Bernie
little
being
spicy.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like suspicious. She's like, shit has already
like, you're
gone
not-
down, and
you're
we've
not
already
one
missed
of
this
us.
You're not
place.
one of us, bro.
Get out.
Oh
No, it was,
We-
it was
On
like,
Wednesdays we wear
no!
pink.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Right,
correct.
exactly.
get in, loser. We're going to the mall.
We're going to the mall. We're gonna get you some pink.
I
Oh
don't
my
think I
God.
should be carrying both of these potions of healing. Maybe Domic, since you're on the front line, you'd like one?
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to give it up, I'll put it in my bag.
Cool. I'll give you 1 potion of healing.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Q, you might like the other one, yeah?
I could hold on to it. Thank you.
All right, cool. So I'll give both away. Save me.
Save me. Oh, yeah.
Save me.
Protect me.
Save me when I die.
Oh, before we go, I mean, should we take a little look at this tube with a mysterious scroll inside?
I'm surprised.
Oh.
Who hasn't like chomping at the bit over there about it?
Whoa.
Yeah, what's inside?
I'm actually going to give that to Staris. You seem like somebody. Or actually, Ku or Staris, you guys decide. I'll hand it out between the two of you.
What is can
Well, here,
Yeah,
let me read
she
it.
opens it up, yeah,
Star
so
just
we
grabs
can
it.
read it.
Let me read it. She takes it out. What's it say?
Unfortunately, I could have cast
Um,
Identify on it, but I can't do that till tomorrow.
Hmm.
Staris, you read it, and it is indecipherable to you.
Whoa.
Whatever formula or spell or arcane design is crafted here, it doesn't make sense.
Ooh, this looks like nonsense to me. Ku, I think you better have it. And she
I
hands
like
it over.
nonsense. Yep.
Two,
What am I looking at?
you stare at it, and it looks familiar to you. It looks a lot like something that you've doodled before.
Ooh.
But when you doodled it, it didn't really make any sense to you then. And as you stare at this scroll, it doesn't really make any sense to you now.
Yeah, this looks like nonsense, but it's familiar nonsense. Maybe I
Well,
should
that's
hold
This
on to
is a
this.
spell scroll.
Hmm.
Roll me an Arcana check, Ko.
Reading.
Processing.
Processing. Computing.
Computing.
So, Ko, this is very clearly a spell scroll. You know that.
Okay.
With an 18 Arcana check, you know enough about spell
Damn.
scrolls to know that the weave can be interacted with and used to project wielder's will through a variety of means. Bards do it with art and music and storytelling and speechcraft. Wizards can do it through a variety of different spells and have classified magic into various different schools of thought. Some people are born with it, some people have to study for it. It can be interacted with through devotion to God, devotion to the natural world. There's almost an infinite possible number of ways that an individual can tap into and wield the weave. You know this. If you don't know the avenue to cast that particular spell or to manipulate the weave in that way, a spell scroll will generally look like this to someone. It'll look indecipherable. I'll say with an 18, after studying it for like a minute, and a good portion of this short rest, because you haven't done much, Q. I will say that you can discern enough about this spell scroll to know that this is a spell that would be cast probably by a cleric or by a paladin. Seeing as you are neither of those things, nor is Staris, that would make sense why neither one of you can read it.
This is God's word. I'm unfortunately not fluent in it. Well, interesting find, nonetheless. The weave works in many ways. Not all of us understand all.
Well, maybe we can find someone that will make it a bit more useful.
Keep it secret.
Well, like I
Yep.
said, I can cast Identify on it tomorrow,
Oh, yeah.
and then we can possibly find out exactly what it is. And if we do need to sell it, that'll give us a little bit more leverage to sell something we know about other than it's a piece of paper with weird writing on it.
I,
Maybe Sildar might have more insight, or sister.
Yes, Mr. Arabelle is what I was thinking.
Hmm.
Right.
Oh. So, shall we?
I think so. Staris, do you mind casting your globules of light?
Not at all.
All right, I'll
And-
probably head out of the door.
As Staris says not at all and casts the globules, I also want to add that right after Droop said Illifarn, Illifarn, and shouted it out loud and caused the animated armors to stop fighting you all, they kind of powered down a little bit and looked down and their arms went loose, all the tension was gone from them, and they just marched back to their original spot back into the room. And so they've been in the room this whole time that you guys have been short resting these suits of armor. And as Staris says, not at all. You literally hear Staris, the suits of armor just start to power up as an hour has now since passed since the cast card was last said.
Oh shit!
Illifarn!
Just power back down. Just power right back down and deactivate for the next hour.
Yeah, no, we are not doing that again.
So funny.
Yep.
Right then.
Whew.
Alright.
Let's get out of
To
here.
this other room?
Yeah.
Thinking
This
probably
one?
go up here. Yeah.
All right. You open the door, Dominic?
I'm gonna. We didn't hear anything last time. Yeah, I'm just gonna open the door.
You open the door. It is unlocked, and the door swings wide open.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
see what appears to be like a messy common room. There are dirty and rotted in places table and chairs kind of strewn about the room. You see a few benches with like a cloak or two left behind. Maybe like a single glove, draped over the back of a chair. Several like flagons topped over where beer ale is leaking out of it, spilling onto the floor, and has just like sat there for like a day or two. In the back of the room, you see several barrels kind of stacked and off to the side. One is turned on its side and tapped, and you can see has like a little nozzle screwed into it. Most everything just appears grimy, dirty, and useless. I know in the art there's a bunch of gold coins on this table. Those are not there. However, you do see like a stack of playing cards that has been kind of strewn across the table and left behind. And on this table, you see like a piece of parchment with some writing scratched onto it hastily.
Okay.
At the end of the room is another door. But it looks like, just on first glance, this is a place where the Red Brands probably hung out at a lot before they left town.
All right.
Is there
Problem.
a... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I probably would have investigated the parchment on the table to see what was scrawled on the piece of paper.
Okay. Cool. Anyone doing anything else? Looking at anything else?
I'd like just to check to see if there's any food lying around, or any like scraps or something that I could maybe pocket.
Sure. Roll me a Perception check.
Okay. Ooh, that's a nat 1. Nope, that's not. That's a
7.
7. 10.
A 10? A 7 plus
Yeah.
3? Cool.
Yeah.
What about everybody else?
Stars is gonna look at whatever is over here to see if there's anything useful.
Okay, cool. Roll me investigation check, as it's mostly like it's like a couple of like worn boots, like a cloak or two. You kind of just
Wow.
rummage through the pockets,
Look at you, Stars.
looking for
18.
anything.
Nice.
I'm hunting.
Alright, cool. So, Stars and Bernie, you start kind of looking through the room and rummaging. Caitlin and Ku, you kind of follow in behind. Dominic, you see the note and you immediately go to it. What you
Mhm.
see written on the note in common, grossly misspelled, Glassstaff, comma. That is the name of the person this note is addressed to. Glassstaff. Glassstaff. Iernan's dead. You're on your own. And so are we. It is signed not with a name, but a symbol. The symbol you recognize is the same symbol you saw on the foot-long wrought iron piece of metal that was giant in, and the same symbol you've seen scarred in several bandits' faces. That symbol, for anyone who's curious, by the way, it's like a V with a line going straight up the middle from like the bottom of the V.
Well, it seems.
Kind of looks like a dragon, like a simple dragon's claw. Underneath the signature, Dominic, it says P.S. The woman and child are still in the cells. They're your problem now.
The what?
Okay. Well, it seems that Droop is not the only prisoner here. Apparently, according to this letter, the Red Brands were keeping a child and mother here. And it seems that they were in league, from what I can tell, with the wizard, Glassstaff.
Oh.
Oh no.
So, I don't.
So
Well, I hope we can still talk, but if Kiernan was any indication, this is probably not going to be something friendly.
And Droop, you said that you had never caught the wizard's name. Is that right?
Oh, I've heard it spoken out loud. When you say glass staff, I think I heard that name mentioned by the Red Brands a couple of times.
No.
I guess that could be him, but
It's the only deductive
I don't
reasoning
know,
we
your
have
guess is as
here.
good as mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seems possible.
Do you think that we should keep the note? Just take it with us, just in case.
Always.
Aye.
All right. Who, if you want to be the records keeper?
Oh, my favorite.
I figured as much. All right, well, then there's nothing else here. It seems pretty abandoned. We can head to the other door and see what else we can find.
Okay. The door swings open and reveals another stairwell similar to the one that led you down to the room with the suits of armors. Directly across is another door.
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
you open it up, you see another door right in front of you, and then a stairwell that you assume would probably lead back to the
Caves.
pit.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. I guess the question is, do we want to try to find these cells and free the prisoners, or continue going and trying to find the wizard?
I think we search around, and see what we can find.
All right. I'll go out in the hall and I guess I'll put my ear up against the door to see if we hear anything, or if I hear anything.
All right, roll me a perception check.
10.
And you put your ear to the door and listen for a second. You don't hear anything.
All right, seems safe enough. And I'll try to open the door. Gingerly try to open the door,
Door's
making
locked.
sure the door is locked. Okay.
Oh.
Well, this is the first one we found that's locked.
Hmm.
Is anybody good with picking locks, or do you want me to just kick the door? And it doesn't seem very... I mean, does it look sturdy?
It looks solid. It doesn't look like the strongest door in the world, but it doesn't look, frail.
Well, I guess this is the question. Do we want to make ourselves known, or do we want to still kind of sneak around? Because there were other options in the caves. There was something north, and I believe there was something southeast.
True. I wonder. Sarah just goes back
it's-
in and sees if she sees anything that looks like a key, like amongst the
Nice.
other corner she didn't check.
Oh, sorry, I never fulfilled your investigation check, Stars, because you did roll an 18. We'll say with your 18, you scanned the room pretty well, just going through what little useless pieces were left behind, and there wasn't anything good. Maybe a nice pair of boots. I will say you find fuck it, I'll roll for it. You find 6 gold pieces
Damn.
Oh.
and an additional. Wow, I rolled really good. 9, 10, 11, 12 silver pieces.
Nice.
Oh.
Heck yeah.
As you kind of like go through a few pockets, look under a few benches, and just see them scattered about. But as you scanned the room and found all these trinkets and coins, you saw no sign of a key.
I'm gonna ask, Flop, are you any good at picking locks? Seems we're not prepared, but you're quite the tinkerer.
Not really, no. Tried before.
Do you think your beetles or anything that you've got could fit in the keyhole and maybe unlock it for us?
His bugs and little trinkets are like the size of like a baseball or a tennis ball.
Okay.
So yeah, probably not. And honestly, probably couldn't even get under the gap in the door because of how bulky they are.
Okay.
I'll probably head down the stairs.
Well, maybe we can come back to this.
Yeah, I think this is lost cause. Maybe head back into the cave down here and maybe go up north and see if we can find anything up there.
All right.
Your assumption is correct, Dominic, as this room does lead back to the pit,
To the bit.
where the
To the
south
pit.
bridge has since been destroyed.
The flaming corpse of the monster is below the bridge.
Stars falls straight into the pit as she walks in.
No!
Oh, wait.
Oh,
That was
reversed.
Lynn just wanted to go the opposite direction, so he just went back
You're
through
right.
the door.
It had to be different.
So the southern bridge is completely collapsed. It
Yep.
was destroyed during the fight with the Nothic, or the one-eyed monster.
Yep.
Does this bridge look okay?
But the southern bridge is. Dominic walks straight across it and is fine.
Alright, great.
Yep.
Wow.
The other bridge looked janky. This one looks fine. So Dominic's just gonna go.
Solid. That's fair. That's fair.
Go, 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 quick!
Yeah, way to go, Reddit artist. Spoiling the,
Way to
spoiling the
ruin
bridge.
it. So
I've got to use
I
the
should've
restroom,
been
guys. I'll be
careful.
right back.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, this is our choice. We can go north, up here, or we can go down south. I thought I saw something across the way down south.
I'll say from where you guys are, you can see into this room a ways. And it looks just like
A storeroom.
a storeroom, yeah.
Mhm.
Let me pull up my other. I'm gonna wait for Bernie to get back, but
Yep.
yeah, you can kind of see into it as you cross the bridge.
No door or anything. It's just an open room.
It's literally just like an open section of this built out area where this large crevice is, this large pit, and it looks like a storeroom kind of slash like work area. There's like a workbench. There's a few like tools laying about, things like that. But before we get any further, I'll wait for.
Sounds good. Stars has just wandered in the room.
Looking for a key.
Yep. So all the traps immediately go off.
Yep.
Ah!
Staris is now a pincushion.
Help me!
Staris walks into the room and the room just explodes. We're gonna end tonight's session
With a death. The first death of the campaign. I was afraid it was going to be me.
And Staris, since you walked into the room, you do see this little like weird elbow.
Back.
Welcome back.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice. So a couple of things that you guys would have noticed, like descending the staircase, like this big like cavern with the pit in it looks like a natural cave, right? There's these large pillar stones that connect one part of the floor, like the floor to the ceiling. There's this huge crevice that's been bridged over. It all looks natural, like earth walls and earthen floor. But the rooms and the staircases were like tiled and had flagstones and actual walls carved into them. So there is this kind of like blending of like the natural cavern and then like actually building up these rooms. And this workroom that as you cross the bridge, you can now kind of see into immediately to your left. There's no door that separates the workroom from this larger cavern. And it too has these, tiled walls or these like, carved hewn stone walls and flagstone tile floors. But yeah, you see kind of just like a messy workroom, various tools lying about, several, barrels are stored up against the wall, along with a number of empty crates. There's straw for packing, hammers, pry bars, nails all over the floor. And then you see like the cavern kind of continues off to the north into the east, and then just kind of like weirdly ends in this like shaped closet, and then obviously opens back up to the south into the larger cavern.
Yeah, Stars is gonna look for a key, and then maybe pick up one of these pry bars because that could be useful.
Yeah.
Cool. You add a crowbar to your inventory, and roll me a perception check as you kind of look through things.
15.
Nice.
Strong.
Cool. Yeah, Stars kind of starts scanning the room for a few minutes. Does anybody else want to do anything?
I think I'd like to walk. I think I am not convinced that there's like. I guess we didn't go through that one door, but I guess I'm not convinced that there's not any other way down, even though there's that passage we haven't explored. But the point being that Bernie, I think, is going to scan the walls a little bit and just kind of see, are there any strange, like, stones that are out of place or like that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Where do you want to start scanning the walls, and like how do you want to go about the room doing it?
I'll move back to front. So Bernie is going to move through the room, like to the furthest point that she can get back, and then start scanning from there back to the front.
Cool. Roll me a perception check.
Can I cast guidance
Ooh.
to help Bernie?
You may,
Ooh.
and you sure
Well,
go
yeah.
for it.
Yeah, perfect. Bernie, I'm
Amazing.
sorry, you rolled a 1 and you only got a 20.
I only got a 22.
Actually, Ku will say, like, so Staris is looking around the room. The rest of you are kind of slowly milling in. Staris, you're looking. You find like a good crowbar. Seems kind of sturdy. Give it a good, few smacks like you do. No sign of a key. You're kind of pulling out some of the straw and some of the empty crates. Nothing. Looking on the hooks over the workbench where maybe someone would, again, just nothing.
Yeah.
Bernie, you kind of walk to the back of the room and are just kind of like looking around, looking at the walls and seeing kind of the craftsmanship in, the work that's been done here. This is old. This is, very, very, very old work that's been done. But still very, like, well done. It still holds very well. And you kind of go to the back of the room, and Ku, you kind of follow her in and see that she's taking all of it in, and you see the gears, spinning in her mind. And you go to cast guidance on her, but before you can like touch her to cast the spell, Bernie just like walks up to the wall and like pushes it open, revealing a secret door.
You can always
Bernie,
tell a little bit of shoddy craftsmanship. She
you just
pushes
stare
it
at it.
over.
Yeah, and you're like, that's not right. Like, just the way, like, everything about this is so perfectly crafted, and then you just see that one seam, and it stands out because of how well made everything else is. And you
Yeah.
just push on that seam, and it swings open, revealing a door that leads into a hallway with another room directly across from you.
Oh.
Ooh, what'd you find there?
It looks like another passageway. I'm gonna just stick my head in and kind of look about for a little bit and see if I can see anything.
It's dark.
Just check for any danger, I suppose.
Totally. It's dark everywhere. You can see that there is a room directly across from you. There's a door, but the door is kind of like halfway open, mostly open, not all the way, and you can kind of see into it. It's completely silent. You can't hear anything. And as you stick your head out and look down the hallway, you can see that like right about here, it opens up into a larger room, but it's hard to see anything in just like the darkness at the end of the hallway.
I think I'm gonna go check it out. I mean, I don't hear anything.
You've got that
Bernie, what's the
superior dark
range of
vision,
your
right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, what's the range of
120.
your dark vision, Bernie?
It's 120 feet.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, you can see into the room fine.
Star says her lights kind of floating about everybody.
Oh, cool.
There's like 4 of them, so
Got
they're
it. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, the lights softly illuminate the room across from you, Bernie, and as it does, you see. Is this that room, or is this that room? I need to look at my map.
I think
It
it's
is
that room.
I think it is that
Hey.
room.
It is. You're right.
Get that
You
one.
can see as her light goes into the room, you just see
Wait.
a table at the like other end, like through the cracked door, through the open door, and you just see a slew of weaponry across it. Several blades, a few crossbows, just
Ooh.
on top of a room. On top of the
Sounds
table
like an
inside that room.
armory.
Very cool.
As you look into the other room, you see. Cool. You
Ken, we
see
found a
that
room.
it appears to be some type of like tomb, and you
Whoa.
see 3 like what appear to be 2 stone sarcophagi up against the wall.
Whoa.
I've got a bad feeling about
So you
this.
can't see like
The old family
Yes,
manor.
I'll like turn.
Mausoleum.
Aye, it seems that way. At least a couple of tombs that I can see, and then across the way some armory. What a strange couple of rooms to border each other. Should we go check it out?
See if we can find anything useful.
Right. I'm gonna charge ahead into the room across.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
everybody
you-
here, by the way, or is it like, do we need to alert them?
I just called them.
I would have
Okay,
made it.
cool, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool, cool,
She
cool.
yelled to us.
Just making sure. Okay.
Cool.
I-
You dart your way into the room opposite you, Bernie, and in addition to the weapons kind of
Like,
strewn about on the table, you also see racks of weapons that line the walls of this chamber. You see spears, swords, crossbows, bolts, arrows, short bows, long bows, a dozen or so dirty red cloaks hang from hooks by the door. It appears that
Oh.
the red brands under Kieran may have been stockpiling arms. You're not sure for what purpose. You can see where several slots on the weapons racks along the walls have been like emptied. Like maybe some people grabbed some things before they all took off to go do their own thing. But there's still quite a large assortment of weapons here. Pretty much
Wow.
any martial or simple weapon you could find in the player's handbook could be found in this room.
Cool.
I'll look in the door and kind of go, is this possible? This is all the wares that the proprietor of the armor shop in town is missing?
Ah, that's a great point.
It does seem like it's all the red brand cloaks, and they're the ones who were probably stealing it. It wasn't actually the goblins, it was probably the red brands.
How great it would be if we could tell him this is where it is.
Well, if we can clear out the ruins, maybe we can.
Dominic, roll me a investigation check.
what is it, buddy?
That's a 12.
As you kind of have this thought, you look through a lot of the stuff and the various weapons, and it doesn't seem. It does. You're familiar with like what an order of longswords looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, while there will be differences and variations subtly, there's generally going to be like a through line in how they're all formed and made. There's a lot of varieties to these weapons. So
Okay.
you get the sense that this collection might be a little bit more sporadic, a little bit more collected over time. Some are pretty decently made, some are kind of shit. Nothing that stands out as like, holy shit, that's a really nice blade or anything like that. But yeah, you get the sense that maybe it's part of that collection, but it probably wouldn't be all of it. Either way, though, an arms dealer could still turn a profit on a
Certainly
lot of
turn
this
a profit, yeah. It doesn't seem hell. It seems like there's bits and pieces of it now that I'm looking at it. But again, we can probably tell her. She can probably turn this for a profit, and we can actually get a profit out of telling her where to find all this stuff.
Aye. That's a good way of thinking about it.
Well,
Yeah, that's a really good way of thinking about it.
thanks, Troop.
No, you guys are smart. Smart heroes. I'm rooting for you.
Dominic is probably going to head down towards the tomb and head into
Tomb?
this
Cool.
room. Yeah.
What's everybody else wanting to do?
Probably following behind, just slowly.
Yeah.
I think
As
that just being in this room, like Bernie's gonna look around a little bit more. Are there any staffs or staves or
Vase or
walking
vase?
sticks, or vase or vase or tomatoes or tomatoes?
Potatoes and potatoes.
roll me a perception check.
Perception. Oh gosh.
Or perception, whatever.
Perception. Perception.
Perception.
Perception.
Perception.
9.
Per the sheep.
Yeah.
Shion.
you think you see like a quarterstaff
Sheep shop.
in the corner
Sheep
when
shop.
you go to check it.
Nice.
When you go to check it, you see that it's just like a broken spear that somebody
Okay.
like pushed
Aw.
off to the side.
Boo.
Okay.
So you actually don't find anything that kind of matches that description.
That's cool. Can I just grab a couple daggers?
Yeah,
Is that a
you can
thing?
grab 2 daggers easily.
Cool. Okay.
Can I
You
grab a
can grab
couple
more if you want to be
daggers?
greedy. Is 2 enough?
2 is plenty.
Cool. Anybody else grabbing a free weapon?
I'll go in and I'm gonna look at the crossbows and sort of like scoff and, oh, this is not the way. Even though like I know it's more powerful, it's like cheating among the my kind. But I do want to look at the
Panduan.
yeah.
Nudie over here about his weaponry.
But I do want to just check out these short bows and compare them to my own and see if
Roll me an investigation check as you kind of give him a good little tug.
I want to help. I cast guidance.
All
Let
right.
me help this time.
Yeah. Bernie is so wise and just understands.
well.
Okay, cool. And Star, so you said you were following Dominic or you were following Bernie into the weapons room?
Following Dominic at a pace. Yeah, I don't know that there's too much useful,
Okay,
especially with this broken arm.
great.
Mm.
There is a door here. I know it might not be easy to be seen.
Right.
So you guys open this door and
Correct.
go inside the tomb. I probably should have mentioned that. Oh well, I didn't. I'm an idiot. It was open. That's how you can see things.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Door's
it was open already.
Yeah, it was open the whole time.
In two, as you kind of go through all the different short bows and inspect them, there's some that are a little nicer than yours. There are some that are not as nice as yours, but none that would be like functionally or mechanically any different than what you already possess in the game. It makes sense, but there are some decently made short bows in here for sure. And you actually pull one off, and you're gonna like, oh, it's nice. So got like a good, flexibility and a nice pull
It's
to
got
it.
nothing on Old Faithful. Hold on. I know.
Dominic and Bernie, you kind of push the already open door open a little bit further. You see the 2 stone sarcophagi in the room and a third one up against the opposite wall. You also see a door immediately to your left, Dominic,
Mhm.
and a much larger door down at the southern end of the room. As you walk into the room, you hear this dusty inhale.
Whoa.
As
Sweet.
3 forms begin to rise
Oh,
up
shit.
and out of the sarcophagi,
What was that?
and you see 3
Rosa!
skeletons standing up and turn to face you. Stars, as you open the door, you now see 3 skeletons standing up, one in each sarcophagi. They all turn to you, Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, the closest one to you, he says, "Whom do you serve?"
Ooh.
All right. I am going to I'm gonna pull out.
You guys are like checking out bows and looking for bow staffs in the other room right now while this is going on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no
pull
idea.
out Talon, and I'm just gonna kind of hold it reverently in my hands, and I
Mhm.
say, "I come seeking the owner of this sword."
Is incorrect. I need everybody to roll initiative.
No!
What is happening? What is happening?
That is my third nat one of the night.
Hey, You can't roll anymore.
Oh,
All right,
shit.
you can't roll 4 nat ones in a
Stars, you're
night.
going
You
first.
can't do it, kid.
Wild.
Okay.
Oof, God,
That's not
horrible.
good.
Wow.
Everybody's just in the back room, just searching for things, and Stars and I are going, "Fuck, we're
Yes.
fighting zombies."
Oh no.
That's gonna be over so fast. Hold on. I mean, this is a really hard fight, guys. You're in for it now. It's gonna take longer for me to look up what I need to look up than it is. Cool, got it. All right. I got a. Oh wow, I rolled really good. Maybe this will be a good fight.
I hope not.
All right. Anybody get a 20 or higher?
Yes, sir. 22.
Yeah. Nice. That's Starius.
Yep.
Cool. And I got a. All right. Anybody get 15 to 20?
Yeah, 17.
Um, 10 to 15? 5 to 10?
Q.
1 to
got-
5.
Got a 6. Yeah. Yeah.
I got a 5.
Okay.
I got a 4.
Ooh.
Not great.
Ooh.
Hooray!
Honestly,
I like-
it really does make sense because we're all in the other room.
Right. Actually, that's kind of perfect.
I wonder if they're
All right,
talking to each
sorry.
other in that sense.
Right? They're having a deep conversation.
You're up first. You hear the skeleton say, "That is incorrect," as the other ones immediately start crawling out of their crypts and start rushing towards you. What do you do?
Oh, yeah. Light him up! And Stars cast Fairy Fire again
Nice.
to get all of the skeletons.
Hell yeah.
Cool. That's a dex save.
It is a dex save. Hang on, let me make it actually show you. Ooh,
That's
sorry.
okay. I'm not looking
Bless
at
Bless
Oh,
you.
bless.
I'm not looking at roll 20.
All right, well, for everybody else.
Thank you.
Nice.
What am I trying to beat?
You are trying to beat a 14.
A 14. You see, the first two just move through your spell so quickly and so deftly that it does not take hold. But the one in the back does begin to glow.
Oh no, they're pretty fast.
Gosh.
Which one begins to glow? Sorry.
I'm putting a little
Okay.
glow on them right now. And it's you want it to be purple again?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make it more purple than that so you can actually see it. But it's the one in the very back there. Oh my god.
Excuse me, I caught a
It's
cold
not gonna be purple.
last week, you guys.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Can you see the glowing one now?
Yep.
Yes.
Better?
Oh, yeah.
Good to go.
Alright, cool. Awesome. Anything else, Taurus?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't think I can do anything else. I can't do anything else. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Maybe I take a step back.
Nice.
Hang on. Okay. Just one
All right.
step back.
That's
Yes.
gonna
And
bring
shouts
it
back,
to
"We're gonna
the
need some
skeleton's
help."
turn.
Nice.
One is gonna rush at you, Staris. That one's gonna rush you, Dominic. That one's gonna rush you as well.
Damn, they all
the
rolled,
first
they
skelly
rolled between a
boy.
20? Fuck, dude.
They rolled a natural 19 on their initiative.
Jesus.
Oh, monkey
Damn.
nuts.
Agreed.
Staris does a holy shit. That is a nat 20. I have not
No.
rolled less than an 18 all night.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
no, that hits.
Staris takes
Yeah.
12 slashing damage as one just rushes out of the coffin and has like a rusted, broken sword that it just like slices up across your sternum and gets a critical hit against you. I'm gonna stop rolling this dice in a second, guys. Dominic, that's a 10 to hit you,
Does not
and
hit.
a 16 to hit you.
I will use my reaction to do defensive duelist, so it does not hit.
Nice.
You are able
so
to
good.
defend yourself against these two skeletons as the third one rushes past you and you can't get to it, Dominic, and you just like hear Staris scream as it like lunges into the hallway that you just came out of. That is gonna bring it to your turn, Dominic.
Okay.
I love you, babe. I'm so sorry.
I love you too. It's okay.
So much damage.
I've had Talon out,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't unsheath my weapon. Is that going to take my action to do that?
You want to use your weapon instead of Talon, or
Talon's a rapier as well, right? Fuck, but
Talon is a +1 rapier.
Yeah. I will just use Talon for now.
Okay.
Because it's out. I don't want to take the time to put it away.
It would not be an action to pull out your weapon. You can pull out your weapon as a part of your attack action to attack with it.
Okay. All right. So if that's the case, because my weapon still has my Crimson Right on it, so it has the lightning damage still attached to it. So I would prefer to use that one.
I'll say it's a free action to like unsheathe the weapon and attack with it.
Yep.
But to get like rid of the one in your hand, you might have to drop it.
Okay.
If you want to do it all for free. If you want to like sheathe that weapon and then unsheathe your other one, I'll say it might like use your bonus action and your action to do all of it. But like you'd still get your attack.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna sheathe Talon as my bonus action and unsheathe my rapier and attack.
Perfect. That works.
I am going to attack this one that attacks Staris.
Okay.
So there's a 14 hit.
A 14 hits. Roll your damage.
All right, cool. So that is my piercing damage. That's 10 points of piercing damage plus my D4 of lightning damage as the red crimson lightning kind of licks off my blade as it attacks, plus another 4 points of lightning damage for 14 points total.
Let's go.
Fucking explodes in pale crimson lightning slashing fury and just turns to bone dust. You were just a second too late, and Staris, as you like reel from the pain, you see as this creature who like is going in for another attack, you like close your eyes for a second, like bracing for the inevitable, and then just feel like this smattering of dust as this thing is dropped before it can hit you again.
And then I'm gonna go, Staris, are you alright?
I'll live.
Okay. Move back as fast as you can, and I'm gonna take the opportunity attacks and I'm gonna move in front of Staris. So that way they can't get at her.
2 swings coming at you.
That's fine. Bring it on.
That is gonna be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Yeah.
What about an 11?
That does not hit.
Okay. You are going to take 4 points of slashing damage.
Okay, so
from
my temporary hit points are
sword.
Gone, and I take 1 point of damage.
Cool. And
There we
you
go.
kind of block the doorway.
Yep.
Koo, you're up. Bernie, you're on deck.
Oh, I'm going to run out.
You just heard a scream, and you're hearing a bunch of damage.
Oh, What is happening? Eh, oh, I could see that something's glowing.
Yeah, you can
If
see
I
a
roll
faint
up
glow.
here. Let me see, can
So you can be.
I be...
So Sean, you
10,
correct,
15,
right? You can
20.
be in a space with somebody to do something, but then you can't end your turn there, right?
You can move through your like ally spaces. You just can't end your turn there.
Okay.
And you cannot move through an
Mm.
enemy space
Yep.
unless you have a thing that says you can.
Yeah. So like he could get into Stars' space, cast something, and then get out and end his turn.
Yeah,
Right.
I love that.
Okay.
There might be some cover involved because you're like still you're like in other people's spaces.
Mhm.
So it
Right.
might give the monster some cover if it's like a ranged attack or whatever.
Yeah, alright, yeah, let me roll up. Excuse me, Staris, as Ku fires up a flame bolt and launches it through Domic's legs.
By all means.
Whoop!
Careful.
And...
Alright.
Boom.
Don't roll in that one.
Yep, there we go.
20.
Dirty
Nice.
20.
Oh, yeah.
Ku, what's your move speed?
30.
Okay, nice. Hell yeah. And this is the purple one you're aiming at?
Yes, correct.
You do have advantage if you want to see if it's a crit.
Oh, with a fairy fire. Fairy fire, fair enough. Oh.
Haha.
It's not.
Fire,
Alright,
fire.
cool. Yeah, you hit it. It like glances off of its shoulder. It holds its arm up and takes it in the arm and bats it away. Its like shoulder is now kind of on fire a little bit as it continues to march towards you.
And then I try and scamper back.
All right, Bernie, you're up. Then Kitland.
Okay. I think that Barney's going to take after what Q just did and just hustle down the hallway, seeing her friends are getting hurt, and shove past a little bit and stand in the same spot that Status is in.
We're all just huddling on top of each other while I'm just like blocking the door.
Excuse, pardon. Just scooting by. Give me just 2 seconds.
Oh my god, I love this.
And then Barney's gonna like concentrate for a second and close her eyes and put her hands together and then open her eyes and there's a soft starlight that's shining in them, and then she's gonna release both of her hands and a little ball of starlight is gonna gather, and she's gonna cast the starry wisp towards the one that's glowing. So yeah, just a little mote of starlight comes from her hands and shoots off around Staris and around Domic, and then tries to find its target.
Well, that attack.
20 to hit.
Jeez.
Let's
Again,
go.
you have advantage if you want to see if it's a crit.
Oh,
but
I do.
otherwise, that hit.
Ooh,
That's
radiant
a nat
damage
one.
as well.
I'll take
The opposite
I'll
of
take
a
the
crit.
20. Yeah. Cool. So that's 6 radiant
Awesome.
damage.
4 radiant
Hell
damage.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
Right?
sorry. I was looking. Yep. 4
6 was
radiant
the-
damage.
Yeah, 6 was in that one.
Yes, totally. Right.
Cool. Yeah, it's starting to the radiant damage. You see like the fire actually starts to glow from the radiant damage into like this like white, almost bluish, like ethereal light. And you see like where he had like shrugged off the fire, he's now like screaming in pain at the radiant damage. It's starting to look pretty messed up.
Cool. Okay. You know what? I think that Bernie, like, after seeing how fucked up Dominic got last time, she's gonna scoot forward and she's gonna try and like scoot past Dominic and say, "You're not the only one that can take some hits." And then she's gonna get right up there and kind of like face off against the skeleton.
This isn't a
Classic,
cock measuring
yes.
contest.
Aye, but maybe it's
What is happening up there?
That's some classic dwarf shit. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Just hard-headed, like stubborn asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Get out of the way.
Yeah. Move.
Caitlin, you're up, buddy.
All right, I've got no idea what's going on, so I'm gonna go
Testing.
5,
Go tensile
10
strength.
Old
to
man
here.
Kitlin.
Oh my God.
Can I see the glowing purple zombie or skeleton
I
with half
Don't-
cover or anything?
let's see. I'm gonna take it from the farthest part of your square. I think you can still get it. Yep. Looks like it to me.
All
Well
right.
done.
They-
I mean, it
I'll
obviously
give it
has
a-
cover for
Yeah.
anybody else, but
yeah, I'm gonna take out the
Careful.
short bow
Sharpshooter.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna just take a regular shot
Cool.
with advantage.
do it.
That is my 4th nat 1 of the night.
Oh,
And-
Oh my God. I lied to you. I
God.
lied to you. You can roll for.
And then a dirty 20.
Whoa.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna say the 20 just misses because no, you guys. I will say like you all feel like the feathers like hit your ear, and it causes like the arrow to like wiggle just a little bit, but it stays on course and hits the skeleton. But it makes you all react. It makes you all kind of like put your hand up to the side of your head as you feel this arrow just like weave between all 3 of your heads.
I'm not gonna mark it as favorite foe. I think I'm just gonna have regular damage go through.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you get those back on a short rest or a long rest?
I made a thing.
Long rest.
It's incredible.
That's gonna be 8
Nice.
Did
damage.
you put it in the Discord?
Thank you.
It takes his skull clean off, and like the arrow continues to fly for like another 10-15 feet before landing on the ground behind him, and the rest of his body just falls backwards and like shatters into dozens of pieces.
All right.
Perception.
All right, that brings
Perception.
I'm actually gonna move back into this room behind the corner, and I'll keep an eye down the other hallway where Flop or whatever the hell his name is.
he's like looks back at you and like
True.
We
It's true.
literally just messed him.
Wilt, what was it?
Yeah. Flop.
looks back at you and gives you like 2 thumbs up, Kitlin, and just like mouths like, "Is it going well?"
Not Chad.
And that'll bring it back to your turn, Stars. Top of the order.
Yeah.
Stars blows her nose.
Yep.
no.
Also does that. No, I think Stars just runs away.
Yep. I mean,
Yes.
Dominic,
Yes.
I did tell you run away as fast as can. So
Yep.
You took a
No.
huge hit.
yeah,
I'm
you
getting
did.
out of here. Stars is good right here.
From Droop's perspective, he like looks to Kitlin and goes, gives it 2 thumbs up, and mouths, "Is it going well?" And then Stars just like comes sprinting and like slams her back into the wall and like sinks to the ground, just like blood spilling off of her torso, breathing heavily, and just like
Not so much.
and it's like full sprints. Yeah, awesome. I love that visual.
Yep.
Anything
Nope.
else with your turn, Stars?
No, sir.
You're just retreating.
Love it. Amazing.
That is gonna bring it to the skeleton's turn. Let's see if Bernie's as good as taking hits as she claims to be.
I go down.
That is
Let's see.
an 11 to hit.
Does not hit.
swings wide, and you are easily able to get out of the way.
I
Dominic,
think,
you're up.
can
You're
I
on
say,
deck.
Can I say that Barney does like a little bit of a backbend and like makes eye contact with Dominic and gives him a wink?
Roll me an acrobatics check.
No.
Uh-oh.
15.
Hey!
15.
Yes, you can.
Oh my god. We have like a
Awesome.
like a Legolas Gimli.
Yeah. Legolas
Situation.
Gimli going on, yeah. Fucking
Yay.
show off dwarfs.
It's
Dominic.
Aragorn and Gimli.
Yeah, Aragorn and
That's
Gimli.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is the skeleton ending his turn?
Oh yeah, he's done.
Alright.
Yeah, he's done.
Dom's
stupid
gonna
skeleton.
move 5,
He's
10, 15 to flank.
It'll take 5 extra movement because to squeeze or go over that sarcophagus, it's gonna take it's kind of difficult terrain. So if you've got 5 extra feet of movement, I'll say you can do it.
I have 30 feet of movement, so yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, then you're good.
Alright, cool. I am gonna flank him, and I am going to
Kind of
attack.
you kind of shoulder check him to
Yeah.
get on the other side of him and spin him around to make him face you and go for the attack, creating a huge advantage for yourself.
Got it. Rolling twice. Bam. That's a 15 for the first one, and a 10 for the second, so 15.
Gonna hit. Roll your damage.
Alright. Here's my piercing damage. 12 points of piercing
Jesus
damage.
Christ.
And then another
Jeez, my God.
3 points of lightning damage as
Holy
the red lightning just
moly.
licks off the blade and hits him right in the face.
Woof. That's not with your
So-
+1 rapier, right? That's just the regular one?
That's just my regular one with my crimson right on it, yeah. So 15 points of damage.
Done. You shoulder check him, turns around, opens him up for an easy hit, and you just all the way up to the cross guard of the rapier. You just sink this thing through him, and as you pull it out, he just slowly begins to crumble and break apart right in between you and Bernie. Well done, everybody. You defeated my skeleton.
We
Silly
defeated
boys.
skeletons.
Sillies.
And then as soon as the skeleton goes down, you'll see Dominic just kind of flourish, put his rapier up to his face, and then just kind of sheath it really nicely as the red crimson lightning kind of just goes into the sheath and disappears.
As you kind of lean up against the wall and exhale and sheath your blade and just start to catch your breath, you kind of lean up against the door that's right behind you. And just kind of take a moment, just that last beat, just to make sure there's nothing else that you're waiting.
Nothing else.
That other shoe to drop, and you can roll me a perception check, Dominic.
Okay. That's an 8.
You just hear the sound of your blood pumping in your own head as your heart is beating from the adrenaline.
Okay.
Is it clear?
That's clear.
Oh,
Okay.
Whoa, he got huge! Oh, God!
I knew it. I knew he was going to turn against us.
Droop
Oh my
Cube is
God.
real. Droop Cube is real.
Cube.
Ooh, droop all caps.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Capital D droop.
Yep, that's
Capital
right.
D.
Yeah, will do.
Rook, you might want to arm yourself with something a bit more than your dagger. There's a whole lot of stuff in here.
Holy shit.
You just hear the sound of clanging and clattering metal
Nice.
as he goes inside.
Dominic's gonna kind of push himself off the door and head probably into the hallway to check on Staris.
And I'll check out the rest of the room, the sarcophagus, see if there's anything else in here of value or interest.
Okay.
Oh my
Start
goodness.
making a note really quick.
Link, what do you need, baby?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
So
goodness.
Aw,
He
baby.
probably wants some water. I'm gonna just let him walk around for a second.
Cool.
Cool.
Do we need to take a quick
roll
break?
me a
Mm-hmm.
let's wrap up these last few things really quick, and then we'll take a break.
Okay.
Cool.
So Bernie, roll me a quick perception check. What else was there? Was there anything else? You went to check on Staris, right?
I would have
Dominic?
checked on Staris. I want to check out the room to see if there's anything that reminds me of the vision I had, but Dominic is gonna check on Staris first. That was his priority.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Staris, pretty. How you looking, Staris?
Oof. Let's see. What's half of 27?
13.
Yeah, not quite bloodied yet, but
Okay.
pretty
I'm-
fucked up.
Dominic probably would have pulled
It
out
looks
the
more like a
potion.
really bad scrape than like a bad
Ooh.
wound.
Right. It's not like profusely bleeding, but
Well, Staris, do you need the potion of healing? I mean,
I think I can make it a little longer.
are you sure? I mean, Dominic's gonna have it out
No.
in his hand and ready to pop the cork and like give it to you. So like,
Aw.
you
So
tell
sweet.
me.
Gotcha. Let's save it. Let's save it.
Okay. Well
Have
then,
you eaten your good berry? Maybe
That's
we
a wonderful
could,
idea.
Huh.
all right, and I'll put
I
it
have
back
not
in
eaten
my
it.
bag.
Bernie, you find kind of looking through all the sarcophagi. The first two are empty, but you come to the third one and you see like just like the flash of metal. And as you rummage through some of the stone, you pull out what looks to be like a familial signet ring. And you find yourself just a wee bit of treasure, valued at about 50 gold pieces.
Okay. So a signet ring and 50 gold pieces
No, the signet ring is worth about
is
50 gold
worth.
pieces.
Okay, got it.
Nice,
Got it.
nice.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So
after,
you could use that to like barter for something that's like, say something's like worth 100 gold pieces. You like, I'll give you this ring in 50 gold. Or if you find something that's like worth 30 gold pieces, you like, I'll give you this ring for it. So it's
Got
kind of
it.
like a lump, but then you wouldn't get like 20 gold back. So it would be like a lump. You have like a 50 gold piece nugget in your inventory.
Got it. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool.
You know what?
And let's go ahead and take a break right there. Let the dogs pee, grab a drink, stretch your legs. We'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Cool.
Sounds
Sounds good.
Play for like another 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll wrap it up.
sounds good.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
Cool. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
That is a terrifying photo.
The perception. I keep dying every time I just look at it. So good. Perception.
I'm so glad I didn't see that once the entire time the game was going on, because that would have just broke me.
That's so good. Oh my god.
I have to not look at it anymore.
Perception. Oh man. So good.
Fucking ridiculous.
Trey did that so quickly too. It was so impressive.
That's wild.
It was like right after it happened, and she was like, haha.
Way to use your skills for evil.
Amazing.
Alright. We are
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
it looks like you guys are going for the all achievements in this dungeon.
Yes. Yes.
Very different from our last dungeon, in which you guys went into one
Yeah.
room.
And then we accidentally encountered the boss.
Yep.
Then it was
Yep.
like,
I was like, oh. I guess there is like a cheeky little way to get to the boss, but they'd have to get through the wargs to do it, and then they'll only see it, and then. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that's kind of cool how it all connects that way, but I don't think they'll ever actually use that. Oh my god.
We talking about the Goblin Cave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
Well, just how in this dungeon it looks like you guys are trying to like 100% it, whereas in that dungeon you guys went into one room.
That's so funny.
It's like
Well-
I know what was causing like the freaky deku water stuff, but you guys don't, and that's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll never know.
Nope.
Gabe just literally spat water at us.
Yep, basically.
And we were totally okay with it.
Well, the funny thing is,
fuck
like,
that, let's leave.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
3 little people, and like you gave us like a little butthole to like go into and like sneak into, and we're like, well, we'll send the little ones in there.
Pretty
Mhm.
much. Pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, none of my buttholes are safe. in this campaign.
Do they all have bosses inside? Bosses in-
All of my buttholes. I mean, some might have bosses, some might have treasure, right?
Oh.
You know, I think each
Ooh.
butthole is different.
Yep,
Wow.
yep.
Never
Now-
know
Each
what you're
butthole
gonna
is unique.
And guess
Yes.
what? Now this is gonna live on the internet forever. You're welcome.
Cool. Cool. Oh, you
Very
heard it here
cool.
first. You heard it
Cool,
here
cool.
first, internet. Some buttholes have treasure in it, and some buttholes have scary things inside them.
get.
Those are life lessons from
And you never know which is which until you go inside and see for yourself.
Discover it.
Those are DM life lessons for you.
Explore.
Handed down
Explore
from
every
the
butthole
mountaintop.
you find.
Oh my god.
Well, I told you I was gonna. After I got that vision with Talon, I'm gonna fucking scour this place trying to find information.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the vision itself was like the identify spell being cast. Like that's what you got. Like so it was like seeing into like the life of the blade to understand it better.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this is his home. This is some kind of familial crypt, but based on your answer and their response, whatever tie they might have had to the owner of this blade, familial or otherwise, has since been severed and corrupted by necromantic magic, to essentially just make these undead sentries.
That's what it seems like. Hey, my theory of a necromancer's probably here is getting better and better, guys.
That is very true.
As Dominic
did-
kind of scoffs, goes, fuck, necromancer, knew it.
I knew it from the start. Has Dominic shared his like the visions? Like he hasn't shared any of this with us, right?
It probably
I
would have
don't
been
think you've told-
only. It probably would have only been you, Bernie, because you were the only one near me.
When you were checking out that blade.
Yeah, because everybody else
Okay.
had gone in the room. You and I were standing by the blade, and I casted Identify. And more than likely, what Dominic would have done is kind of talked it out loud of seeing things, and I see a bird motif, and you would have seen. Well, the blade only cleaned itself up, quote unquote, to me because I casted the Identify spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was
That's
flavor,
just flavor.
I guess, more
Yeah,
than
yeah,
anything
yeah.
else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like the identify spell, like kind of like reverberated within the blade, and that reverberation just like shook a little bit of the dust off and caused like the shimmer to just like it's basically like you like wiped it off, right? Like
Yeah.
you gave it a good shake.
Yeah. And what Bernie would have saw is like Domic's eyes would have gone like a blood, like his eyes would have gone blood red, like no pupils, nothing. He was casting the spell. But he more than likely would have kind of like, I don't think he would have told you everything he saw, but he would have said, bits and pieces, bird motif, Alan, owner of the house, like bits and pieces of what he saw. But we haven't had a chance to like continue like or discuss what we saw. We just moved on.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So that's
then,
probably
sorry,
as
one
much
more-
as Bernie would have got.
Yeah, and one more question about the creature earlier that was saying that quote, like the forever, forever, forever quote to Domic. Did we all hear that, or did just Domic hear that?
You heard it spoken out loud, but it was in undercommon, and Kitlin translated it for you guys.
That's right. Okay, cool.
So
cool.
Kitlin told us, but we all saw it staring at Domic.
Okay. Cool. Great.
Yeah, it very much felt like the creature was directing what it was saying at Dominic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Didn't like it.
Saying
I
it
didn't
to
like
him,
it at all.
saying it about him,
Didn't
saying
like it one bit.
Nope, hated it.
Cool.
Good.
Great.
Get your big goofy eye out of my face. I hate it.
That was a good encounter.
That was a good encounter.
Yeah, that was so.
I'm curious, how similar or different was it to the last time you encountered a creature like that?
Probably about the same.
Because weren't some of you like, oh, I think we fought this creature before?
I think I have.
Yeah,
in
we
like
did
a.
it with
it was
the
like
Hunter and Phil's campaign,
It's
Abigail.
like a 4-shot, yeah, that we did, or 5-shot, whatever. But they weren't. I don't remember them being as interactive. Like it felt much more like it was just like a bad guy that we had to kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were just like more like monsters or creatures than anything. And I really did like how I'm still confused about our interaction with that creature. Like I'm still like I think that
I'm not convinced it was even bad.
Yeah,
I think
I
we just
know.
killed like a innocent creature.
Yeah, it
You
felt more
set it
like
on fire.
was-
You could have left it.
Right?
I was putting it out of its misery.
Oh god.
Like it did do damage to someone. Like I know it looked
Yeah,
at someone.
it
and
hurt
made
me.
them
It hit me
sick
for
and
8.
vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kitlin had a reason to be aggressive
Definitely.
towards
There was-
it.
And there were some unseen things too that kind of happened there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Kitlin had a vision thing too, right?
Yep.
Or
In an interaction,
An interaction with them. Yeah.
you saw it. You saw it staring at Kitlin, but you couldn't see Kitlin.
yeah. Yeah.
We haven't had a chance to like compartmentalize everything that's happened in
We
this dungeon
haven't or
yet.
process it. No. We're all just like looking at each other
And
like, what the fuck?
I as a DM, I like doing that. I like giving you like shit. You're like, we need to figure this out, but then I like throw more shit at you before you can like. It's like, what's going on?
We have
Yeah,
to unpack
it's
this.
Juggling all the questions, and so this is where note taking comes in. Where we get back to camp, we're like, okay,
Honestly.
everybody just fucking just ask all the questions. What happened?
Yes,
Pull-
totally.
Pull out your shit.
Yeah.
with everybody got.
What's
Yeah,
in your
old man.
closet?
Pull your
What's in your
pockets out.
backpack?
Empty your pockets. What do you got in those pockets?
Yeah.
How much of the money do you still have left, even though you've been giving this goblin 4 gold apiece for all this stuff?
That's awesome. How much do you have left? Did you? I guess no. We haven't dispersed anything either.
We haven't
right?
dispersed anything. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a shit
You
ton, right?
dispersed the potions.
The potions are the only thing. Yeah. And I still had 20 gold and 10 silver from Kieran's body. We haven't had a chance to like give away.
Yeah. We have a lot of
Well,
gold. We're
I-
kind of
Yeah,
I'm
rich
glad
right
that
now.
we did come into some gold before having to pay old Milo. So,
Yeah.
I was sweating that a little bit.
How much more do you owe, Milo?
25.
25.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take your 25 cut and then give the rest to everybody else?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, technically, you just gave away 8 of your 25. So
This is true. This is true.
I think there was also Domik. You had a conversation with Sildar that said he had written a note,
oh yeah,
like a letter to Neverwinter asking for funds, and that he had
Yeah.
Oh
planned on
yeah.
That'll
giving
be
some to
coming
you
up,
and your
too.
companions.
Yep.
Yeah. That was like
Yeah.
300, right?
yeah.
When we get to a big city, we're gonna be freaking
This,
set.
yeah, this
Currently,
little, like,
you guys don't know that I
pinball
have any gold or
delivery
any
job.
No, we don't know you have anything. Yeah, you could be that cheeky little bastard and just not say anything.
Sure could. Sure could.
But no, actually, technically, you did say you told us about it.
Oh, that's right. You said that you immediately
Yeah.
told us about it.
Can't take it back now, bitch. I'm just kidding.
Awesome. Well, Dre is pouring herself a little drinky poo, but she can hear us.
Cool.
So I think,
Cheeky boo.
yeah, we will dive back in. Droop eventually. No, Droop is just going nuts in the weapons room. Staris and Domik, I think we're having them. Got it. Staris goes, and so Staris has gone back into the room.
Yep.
And Staris, what you see when you go back into the weapons room is Droop is just like. Do you know that scene in Hot Fuzz when Nick Frost and Simon Pegg are like going to like do battle, like figured out the city's run by a cult and they're gonna take them all out, and they like are just strapped with like 20 guns on their back?
Oh yeah,
That is
that
what
was
Droop
good.
has done
Yeah.
with all the weapons in the room. And he
Hell
like
yeah.
looks at you and like almost falls over because of the weight of everything on his back. He's like, I'm ready. Ready to get started.
Amazing.
What are you looking for in particular? Just any kind of one-handed weapon? There's short swords, daggers. There's short swords. There's a hand axe. There's a long sword that you could use one-handed. You see a rapier. You see longsword. All right, yeah. You grab one. You give it like a flick at the wrist. You're able to use it.
Oh, yeah.
What is everybody else doing?
Which hand is she using? She has that broken arm. Remember that.
Yeah, she's looking for like a one-handed weapon she can specifically use. It was
Nice.
your
Nice.
left hand that got injured. Yeah, it was her left arm that got injured. You see,
Um,
she's using it with her right hand.
after this exchange with Staris, and Staris kind of just said, "You keep the potion." Dominic would have put that back, and he probably would have come into this room with the crypts and kind of started looking over them, remembering his vision, and just trying to like piece it all together of like, were these a part of the family? Were these just guards? Like, what significance does it have to the house?
Sure. Roll a history check.
Because they were undead, do I get advantage on information on the undead?
Ooh.
No, because yeah, sure, I'll allow it.
Yes, thank you,
That's
sir.
cool.
22. So nat 20,
Nat 20.
actually. Yeah.
Let's fucking go. So yeah, pretty much kind of what we discussed while we were kind of wrapping up our break. These would have been family members. These would have been related, and especially as you take some time to like examine the signet ring that Bernie found, some of the garbs that they're wearing, and what you remember from your vision, it would make sense that if this was their house, the people that would be buried here would be related to the person you spoke of. So you feel like your answer should have worked. And the only thing that makes sense to you with a natural 20 is that these corpses are shells of the people they once were. That
Yeah.
the magic is what is controlling them. It has nothing to do with who they were in life. They're essentially puppets,
And
animated things.
usually with crypts and stuff like that, they have like a familial name or surname or something anywhere. Do I find that anywhere?
You see on the signet ring a elaborately drawn capital T.
Capital T. Okay. Well, it seems that I think a necromancer is definitely on the table.
Hmm.
Now that we've seen more of the dungeon, we've gone through the trap door and we're in the tomb. Can I use my historical knowledge feature of the when you enter a ruin or dungeon, you can correctly ascertain its original purpose and determine its builders and their race.
I believe you did that in the
Mhm.
large cavern.
You'd said like we
Uh,
hadn't seen enough of it yet to know
oh, fair
anything.
enough. Fair enough. Well, yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, you've seen a good portion of it. This is very clearly the basement of the manor that uh, has fallen to ruins above you. You can see elements of dwarven and human design. Um, so you get the sense that this was built by like an allegiance or an alliance of various races. Um, this particular room, pretty straightforward, is a crypt. In fact, the way it was designed, you get the sense that this was definitely meant to be like with the secret doors, um, the hidden nature of it all, even the intentionality of like the secret tunnel you found. All of that feels like it was designed into it. You get the sense that this was a design with military purpose in mind, um, or at the very least, designed by someone with that kind of background. This could easily be used as a place for secret meetings if, um, you know, if you needed to keep things like that secret, just based on the size of it and the scope of it and the various rooms you've seen, you could house a small army here. Um, Even elements of like the weapon racks and like the inventory room. The weapons are newer, but some of the racks seem like they were intentionally built in here. Um, so you get the sense that this was designed by someone or built with the intention of, if I need a place to like defend or to build a small army, this would be the place to do it.
Nice. Can I look up to the like the ceiling and the tops of the walls, especially where the doors are, for any openings above those?
Yeah, we can even say you've been doing this like throughout, like openings to the surface, essentially.
Or just to get like above whatever, like the hallway above whatever's behind the doors is kind of what I'm thinking.
Oh, gotcha. The doors themselves seem to meet at either like um tiled wall or like the natural cavern itself. There doesn't appear to be like any space, physical space between like the doors. Or if there is, it's all been like walled up and sealed pretty good.
Gotcha.
So you don't see like a lot of like sneaky ways like through doors. There are a few doors where maybe there's like a small like less than half an inch gap between the bottom of the door and the floor. Maybe like something really, really small could squeeze through, but that's about it.
Gotcha.
Um,
Well,
Most of the doors have been unlocked too, with the exception of the one you found.
should we try either of these doors, the big one or the small one yet?
Oh, is there a big one as well?
Small one to the left.
Yeah, so there's a big one down
Big
here.
one to the
there's a
right,
big one
right
down
here.
Okay.
Small one to the left.
Well, I was planning on checking the smaller one up here.
I vote bite size.
Right. I think that's fine.
I'm gonna check the door to see if it's locked.
Dominic, are you gonna?
So you go into the small door.
Yep.
Dominic, you might be muted.
Oh. Sorry. Yes, I am muted. Dominic's gonna go to the door. Oh, we're all gonna agree to go to the small door. Yep, I think small door is the way to go. And I'm gonna check the door to see if it's locked.
It appears unlocked.
All right, here we go. And I'll slowly push it open.
And just before moving forward, I think Benny's just going to sidle up next to Staris and kind of look her up and down. You doing okay?
Doris, you're muted. I can hear her talking.
Ah.
Oh yeah, I am. Dang it!
Happens to the best of us.
I suppose so. I'm hanging in there, but I got a new toy. And she takes out the long sword and kind of does like a little, like a twirl flourish. What do you think?
I think it's great. Glad to see you with a good weapon in your hands. All right then. All right, just be safe, eh?
I'll do my best.
Right, and then yeah, I'll move up behind Dominic.
Dominic, do you open the door?
Now that you asked, yes, Dominic opens the door.
As you begin to open the door
Fuck. All right.
softly, it creaks open, and it opens about 1.5 inches, 2 inches wide. And you can hear a voice coming from within the room before you can finish opening it. It's a soft voice. And you hear a pained gasp.
No.
It sounds scared.
I'm gonna continue opening
And
the
as
door.
you finish opening the door, okay, and you look inside the room. The room is dissected into 3 separate portions. The middle portion, the portion you find yourself currently standing in, is open. However, the northern and southern portions of it are partitioned with a row of iron. It is now that you see the source of this soft, scared, weak voice. Woman, maybe mid-30s. She looks exhausted. She looks malnourished, and she looks terrified. As you step into the room, you hear another yelp from behind you. You turn around, you see a young boy. He can't be older than 6.
Oh.
So they are separated in 2 different cells.
They are separated in 2 different cells.
Okay. And then
Where are you?
I'll turn back to everybody like, I think this is the boy and mother from the letter. And I'll head over to the mother's cell.
There is opposite you, along the wall, just piles of trash where the grossest refuse that was created or made or discarded here was kept, so as not to stink up the areas that the Red Brands more often used. The stench is horrible.
Oof.
This scared, broken, terrified woman sits in the back of the cell. You can see chains wrapped around her ankles and wrist. She just like shrinks herself as small as she can to the back of the room. Please, please, please. She whispers over and over and over again.
I'm gonna kind of kneel. Dom's gonna kneel close to the gate and say, "It's all right. We're not gonna hurt you. We're here to save you."
Everybody else doing?
Yeah, Stars, I think, sees the woman and just goes immediately to her. We'll help you if you can. Who are you?
It appears that this woman's been here for at least a week, remembering that weeks are 10 days in our world.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She is terrified. And slowly your questions and your promises and your concern for her begin to land. She begins to realize what it is you're trying to communicate to her. Staris and Dominic, you can each roll me a persuasion check, or one of you may do so with advantage. I'll let you decide.
I'll
I
do
have
it.
I have a +1, so I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
Nice.
23.
Holy
Very
shit!
nice.
Didn't even need it.
My name is Myrna. Myrna Dinjar.
Myrna, are you from the? I'm assuming you're from the town, correct?
She nods weakly.
Do you know how we can get you out of here?
She looks past you, Staris.
Is the
As though she's looking at something on the wall behind you.
okay?
Oh.
Oh.
Something over here?
As you turn around, Staris, you see hanging on the wall, right next to the door that you walked through, the keys to their cells hanging there.
What?
When the Red
Interesting.
Brands left, they made sure to leave the keys behind, but didn't think to free their prisoners first.
Oh,
Meaning
goodness.
that while they sat
God.
there in the cells,
They were just
they
looking
could
at the
see
keys.
the means of their own escape
What?
and
Oh
could do
my
nothing about
God.
it.
Oh, that's terrible. All right,
Oh,
Stars
if we
gets...
find the Red Brands ever again, I'm gonna fucking murder all of them.
takes a key and attempts to unlock the cell.
I think that's the kid
Swings
cell
open.
over
You
there.
actually see it's like a ring of keys.
Or
There's
fine, this one.
a few
I
several.
mean,
You
I don't care. If you
have
want to go
to
for the
try
kid
like
first.
one or two. You have to try like one or two before you find the right one, and eventually you find the right key. And as you're doing this, you see that she's like shaking, but like allowing herself to believe that this might be real, and she slowly begins to stand up. But you can see it takes so much effort. This woman is exhausted. She looks underfed. She looks like she hasn't had water. And as you swing the keys open, she like gets more excited and tries to like come to you faster, and the chains pull her back, and she just collapses to the ground as you walk into the cell, Stars.
Koo, do you have any more good berries?
I do, and I produce two more good berries. I got one left in here.
Gotcha.
And then I guess I'll have Stars toss the keys to us and Bernie, and we'll unlock the other cell.
Unlock her. Here.
I think that Bernie walks towards the gate on the other cell, towards the child or the kid, and just kind of kneels down and also pulls a good berry out of her pocket, and she unlocks it and just kind of holds it out to them. I'm so sorry. You've seen the worst of it. And just holds it towards the son.
As Dominic comes up and unlocks the cell, you're able to kind of walk in with him, and the kid is just like kind of shaking and like not even looking at you guys and crying softly. And as you come and get closer, he like allows himself to kind of peek up at you, and he sees the berry. Roll me a persuasion check, Bernie.
Can I also just... Oh, never mind. I'm not going to do that. Okay, persuasion. Damn it. 7.
He's too afraid to take the berry, just too traumatized. Dominic, you are able to get the cell unlocked, and you realize the kid, much like the mother, is shackled, and it dawns on you what all these extra keys are for. And after a minute, you are able to get them both free. It's a disturbing sight, I think, for most of you. The mother just sobs, the child as well, and it takes them some time to find their words and catch their breath and shake off the trauma of everything, and finally be able to communicate with you all. And the mother is eternally grateful. You learn her name is Myrna, Mirna. Her last name, Dendrar, Dendrar. And her son is named Naris. Naris.
Nar. Sorry.
I'm gonna go up to Naris.
Making fun of child prisoners right now?
I'm sorry.
Way to go. I'm
On the
gonna.
leaf.
Jesus.
I'm gonna.
All right, that was me. That was not Staris.
Above the board.
I think,
Staris just opens her arms to like hold Myrna for a little bit, and then invites her to go see her son.
Dominic
Let's
would have
go.
probably come up to Naris and kind of slowly, kind of getting up to him and like, hey, can you move, son? Are you able to move?
He like kind of like shrugs a little bit, and then like holds like his hands up like he's asking for like help.
All right, I'm gonna kind of put my hands out and let his little hands come in my hands, and I'm gonna try to help him stand up.
How old does he
takes,
look? Oh, sorry.
6?
Naris looks like not much, can't be much older than 6.
Okay. Oh, buddy.
The like maybe mid-30s, but like looks a little older from her recent experience. And they both kind of look like this has aged them to some degree. You help the kid up, and it takes a minute, take some time. He doesn't want to do it for a while, and you're just patient with him. You just hold space with him, and eventually you help him up, and then once he gets onto his feet, he just like latches onto your leg and hugs it tight. Dominic.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of pat him on the back, and I'm gonna kind of talk to him very low, whisper. I'm like, all right, now are you gonna be a brave boy and you're gonna walk to yourself to your mother, or do you want some help? Do you want me to carry you over there?
He like nods yes.
All right. Let's go. And I'm gonna have my. I'm gonna let him kind of latch onto my leg and help him move, but I'll have my hand on his back and just kind of slowly move out of the cell.
He kind of like he's like walking on his own, but he is like holding on to your leg as he does it. And he's been nonverbal the whole time.
Yep.
Except for a few like whimpers and cries.
Yep. And then I'm gonna grab a ration out of my bag and kind of hold it in my hand close to him and see if he kind of grabs at it.
Yeah, I think he doesn't notice it at first just because he's like so focused on the walking and like trying to get to his mom. And as you finally get to her and like they hold each other, they just embrace one another. And the mom starts, sobbing all over again and just like holding, just like, making promises. I'll never let you go again. I swear I'll never, ever, ever let you go again. I'll never be away from you. And just like holding, it's like my baby. And, just this moment. And then, after they have their moment, another few minutes go by. You offer the ration and the kid starts like taking small pieces of it. And you see, it's kind of like a stale piece of bread. It like takes like some effort for you to break it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like break it. And you see the kid like takes it and then like eats a little bit and then like hands it to his mom to like, share with her. And she this woman just looks at you all in bewilderment and amazement and almost shock. Who are you? Have you come for us?
We have. We were searching for the wizard and realized he might have prisoners. So we came looking for you.
Oh, it's you.
I'm gonna pull out my water skin and hand it to them to kind of give them something to drink.
Same. Yeah.
Also, let's get out of this foul-smelling room.
Yeah, you're able to walk into the room with the dead skeletons and the sarcophagus.
This one's better somehow.
It doesn't smell like shit.
This one's better, we swear.
You're a pretty intelligent, pretty insightful guy, and this wouldn't be the first time this campaign something dawned on you a little bit quicker than the rest of the group. Roll me an insight check, please.
Ooh. Can I get a 21?
Damn.
You recognize the name
Nice.
Dindrar,
Ooh.
the surname that the mother has given
Ooh.
you. The name of the carpenter
Oh,
who finished
shit.
building the Sleeping Giant Inn was named Fel Dindrar, and his family went missing soon after he was killed. You have just found the carpenter's lost family.
Holy shit.
Ah!
Oh my goodness. Oh.
And the rightful inheritors of the Sleeping Giant Inn.
Wow.
Go.
Are they still staying in the cells, or are they joining us in this room?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm almost never at my computer when I'm RPing and talking to you guys. No, they have both come out of their cells. Droop has come out of the room and has his size almost doubled in the amount of weapons attached to his back and legs and belt and hips and arms. And he's like, I need to help fight now. And then kind of falls over because of the weight.
I'm gonna look over at Droop and go, did you leave anything in the fucking room?
Yeah. There's a couple of bolts left.
The tables? That's
I
all
think
you
I have
left? Okay.
No, like crossbow bolts.
Oh, okay. Bolts. Yes.
Maybe I had that.
Well,
He has like 4 spears.
yeah. Yeah. That are bigger than him. Yeah.
They're like 4 times his size.
All right.
I think that once again, Brownie just assesses the situation, and then she pulls out her herbalism kit, and she gets to work again with the last use, and she just starts kind of mashing things together and pulls out her water skin and mixes and starts to just prepare some salves.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
You have, like I said, probably just enough for like one more use.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As you make it, who do you want to offer it to?
I think that I go to the mother and she kind of holds up her little. It's like a piece of leather that has all these herbs smashed upon it, and she holds it up and she looks down at it and then back up at the mother. And I'm not sure if you're really wounded, but it can be ingested as well. It'll help not only calm the nerves, but also add a little bit of strength, maybe. You don't have to eat it now.
For two?
I'm sorry to say that I only have one use. I only have enough for one at the moment, but
Norris, wake up, honey. And you can see like he's kind of falling asleep in her lap a little bit, and she like wakes him up, and she's like, This nice lady's gonna give you some medicine. It's gonna make you feel better." She kind of looks at you, Bernie. She's like, "Will you help me give it to him?"
And I'll pull my water skin up again, and it'll be better if you combine it with a little bit of this. And I'll like pour it into a little pool of water in my hands and offer it to him.
No. He doesn't even make a face, and like this is not the best tasting stuff. But like after what they've been through, like this kid is not going to complain. He's not going to whine, and he does what you asked. And after a few moments, he finishes it. And he's like, "I think I am feeling a little bit better." And moments later, he's passed out again, and she just says, "Thank you." What we don't. It's been so long. We don't know how to get out of here, or is it safe? Are we safe here?
We've cleared most of the cave for you, but I'm afraid we must continue on. Flop, now that you're well armed, do you think you could take them to the entrance?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Just back into the big cavern with the hole in it, and it's towards the southern end, the tunnel, right?
And I'll just turn.
That's what you guys told me already. So we won't have to like role play going over a bunch of information that all of the people that are controlling us already know.
Yes, of course. Also, you might want to lose a few of those things if you'd like to be able to walk.
Don't you ever sometimes feel like the entire world is like actually, I don't know, just like a bunch of stoned friends having a conversation somewhere, and all of your actions and their decisions are determined by like some cosmic roll of the dice? Or is that just me? I'm sorry, Sarah. I talked so over you. What were you trying to say?
Star said yes. Yes, that's exactly where you need to go. And also, you might want to lose a few of those trinkets if you'd like to be able to walk.
I got it.
And he falls over again.
Do you all feel comfortable
I'm gonna
leaving
get
this family in the hands of Flop to get out so we can continue on?
Group.
It's Droop, and I am.
Still Droop.
I want to write 2 notes. One I want to give to Droop, and it says, your friend from the caves. Oh no, your magic words saved us. Thank you, friend, Ku, and cohort. P.S. If anyone sees this goblin, he's just trying to get home to his clan in the northeast. Quite an interesting fellow. Turn him to Sildar should you have any questions. Sildar is a friend, and if you go out there and walk through town, he'll be able to get you out of a pickle should anyone give you any trouble. Okay.
What? You want me to walk through
Little
a
bug?
town full of people, like human people? That ain't happening, pal. I don't care how many of those notes you write.
Okay, well, hold on to this all the same.
No, that's a fair point.
You guys will get me out of this town safe and sound. Please and thank you.
Perfect. All right, I tuck this in
You guys are heroes.
an
an idiot.
open bag.
Not leaving the heroes. I know where it's safe. But I can totally lead these guys out of here and in the direction back towards the town, and then I can come back and I can meet up with you guys and we can keep doing this thing.
Sounds good.
We could also take them.
Can I really quickly, as he says that, as Droop says that, why I'm okay. Bernie's just clocking that like this guy like really wants to stick with us instead of just leaving himself, and I think that I'm just trying to figure that out. So can I just clock like whether his intentions, are like genuine or like what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Rolling
24.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
24.
You get a couple of different things. So first off, he tells you that he's nervous about walking through a town of human people as a goblin, and he'd rather you guys be with him to like validate the story in person, right? A note can be lost, a note can be taken off, a note can be not believed, a note can be forged. So you get that his fear is a legitimate concern, and he is just trying to like stack the odds in his favor. But as he says this, he's also carrying like thrice his weight in stolen goods on his back. So you also see the machinations of an opportunist who has suddenly found himself around some very capable people who have taken a liking to him, that he's already sold some stuff to, that he's now found new stuff to take and turn into whatever new trinkets he wants to take, and thinks that, hey, maybe if I hang around these guys, I might get a meal ticket or two. So you're also getting a little bit of that from him as well.
Got it. As I clock that, can I just quickly say, Drip, we won't expect you to go into town, I don't think at the moment. But you get these kind people to the safety of the cave front and maybe a little bit further so they can at least see the town. And you come back to us and find us. There's at least 5 gold in it for you.
Make it 4 gold and you got a deal.
Aye, you drive a hard bargain, my friend. And
That is the magic
number. But you've got the deal.
Myrna looks so confused right now, but is also so tired that she's like, I'm gonna go with it. If these people say they'll get me out of here, I'll take it. I guess I'm following a goblin, armed to the teeth with 38 weapons. Cool. So you make this arrangement with Drew. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say to it's Naris, right, the boy?
Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of like groggily in and out of sleeping on his mom's lap.
All right. When you get back to the inn, my dear friend Pamela is there in your stable out back. I need you to look after her, and she'll look after you just the same.
What's Pamela?
She's she's a pet, sort of. You could think of her that way, but she's quite lovely and brilliant, and I need you to look after her while I'm gone. Can you do that?
Like a cat?
Sort of like a cat, a bit bigger.
Like a dog?
Right. Yep, you're on the right track now.
I could go with him to show them.
I was about to say, I think it'd be best if one of us go back with them to make sure that they make it. Stars?
I don't know. I don't know how
have...
much help I'm going to be here.
Whoa! You guys are selling me out of a job over here. Me and Bernie have an arrangement. I'm your
No.
Drew,
you are there to protect them with all your assortment of weaponry.
So the 4 gold is still on the table?
Yes, that's not going away.
Yeah, I'll take a partner.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, this is a good plan.
cool. I was gonna say, Stars, do you have the sending stone, correct?
Mhm.
I've got
I do
one end
now.
of it.
Okay, so Hitland, you have one end of it, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
So then I'm gonna hand my other part of the sending stone to Stars.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying, once you get to town, use the stone, let us know you're safe, and that you're coming back. Do you want us to meet you outside, or do you want us to keep exploring and you find your way in here?
I feel like I should be able to find you.
Okay. So then what we'll do is we'll send you with the stone, with the family and Droop. You'll make it back to town, and then you'll come back to us.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a plan.
How does everybody else feel about that? I don't want to send the family by themselves. They've been in
Yeah,
a cell
no.
for a week and a half, and now we're asking them to travel by themselves and then take care of Pamela. It's a lot to ask of people who have been stuck in cells. Just saying.
I think that
I think
I think that Narek would get a kick out of Pamela.
Oh, I'm sure he will. She's
I'm
adorable.
gonna whisper to Dominic, that was just to lift his spirits. Pamela will be fine on his own. On her own.
He doesn't know what Pamela is. It's probably going to be pretty scary when he thinks it's a dog and then finds a dinosaur.
Or awesome. It is a 6-year-old.
I mean,
boy.
yes, it is a 6-year-old. It could go. It's a toss-up. It can go either way. I agree. But
At this point, Myrna kind of speaks up and says, "We may be slow-moving, but we are determined to get back to town. We can do it."
your
Maybe
determination is not in
perhaps-
question. It's the
perhaps we
safety
should-
of you guys.
Perhaps we should leave it up to them, for them to decide.
Agreed. Myrna, what do you feel? Would you want one of our companions to go with you, or do you think you can make it on your own?
With Drew.
She kind of looks. She kind of looks at Droop, and Droop gives like his weird, gross, toothy grin and 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, no, I'm going with them.
and Myrna kind of looks back at.
Sounds like, nope.
Uh-uh.
I'm making the decision.
We would feel more comfortable with as much help as you could provide. Myrna diplomatically responds.
Okay. So we'll go with the plan. Here's the stone, and I'll hand the stone to Stars.
Also, I'm so
Okay.
rude. I am Stars, and these are my companions. And we can go
Yeah,
around and
we'll
introduce
say- we'll say,
ourselves.
You guys
That
have been
happened,
with
that
each other
happened.
for the better, like a half an hour. I'm assuming introductions have been made. Just
Mhm.
gaps in the story, as it were. But yeah, when she introduced herself, I'm sure you guys introduced yourselves, and But it's absolutely lovely to meet all of you. And again, thank you for everything.
Of course. Does anyone want to take a rest before we move on to this next step on our journey? Like a short rest, sorry.
Yeah, I think we can take another quick short rest. It seems pretty quiet around here. I think we've gotten rid of any threats.
We can gather our strength and then make sure that we're in optimal form.
I don't see
You guys
anything
want
wrong
to take
with
a
it.
short rest here, or go back to one of the other rooms you found? The room with the Knights of Armor, now, albeit dangerous if you don't, have the passcode ready, did have beds in it. Or you could remain here.
I mean, we could
It's up to
go
you
back.
guys. What do you want to do?
Go back to
We
this
have the keys
room.
now too. Yeah, we have the keys now too, so that probably will open the door.
Yeah, this door over
You
here.
have a
Right.
ring of several keys. It is possible that one of them could open the door.
Let's
That's
go back
true.
to that room. Mm.
Let's get head back here.
Mm.
Uh,
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Yeah,
And
I
we're
think
off.
we'll all gather. I think heading back to this room to gather up is probably going to
Yep.
be a good idea,
Okay.
and
You
that'll
all
make it
your way.
closer for them to get out the cave.
That's true. That's true.
You all kind of make your way to the room with several benches and tables and chairs and things like that. Plenty of places to rest and much more comfortable than a crypt adjacent to a cell. Um, you all begin taking your short rest, um, catching your breath, doing whatever it is you need to do. Droop offloads his bag of weapons. Finally, you can see he's like panting, sweating profusely, walking the very short distance with all of this weight. Several feet behind you, by the way, because he's incredibly encumbered and moving at like quarter speed.
So much for giving that to the armor in town.
Hmm.
Well,
And
we'll bring it to them. Droop, dear. Would you mind donating all of this armor? Because you're going to get some gold and you'll be able to buy some things that are fantastically better than this.
What? Wait, I gotta give my stuff away?
To get better stuff.
But it's my stuff.
Right now,
What are you gonna give me for it? What are you giving me for it? What are you giving
we're
me?
already getting the 4 gold. And,
Well, yeah, but that's for something else. This is my stuff. You said I could get better stuff for this stuff. So if
That's
you want to give me
fair,
better
that's fair.
stuff, I'll give you this stuff.
how about 2 more gold? 2 is way better than 4.
Aye, it's much more. I can't believe she'd offer such an amount.
roll a persuasion check.
Oh, gosh.
This is your bread and butter. This is your bread and butter.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Oh, it's not very good persuasion.
no.
Wait. Golden die.
Oh, yeah, golden die.
Yeah,
Golden die.
golden
Go
die.
for it. Yeah, yep, do
I
it.
could pop some guidance on there too.
Oh yeah, and guidance.
Okay. Let's do it again.
Golden
Okay.
die.
15.
Okay, and then the
And,
guidance.
Guidance is a D4.
Yep.
Does it work like this? It's slash roll.
Yeah.
Space or no space?
No space. Slash R.
Slash R. Okay.
1d4.
All right, I'll do it this way. It's fine. Ta-da!
Oh no, I think there's a space.
Alright,
16
So
total.
16.
He stares at you and thinks hard about it for a good minute. He goes, "There's a lot of good metal and all this stuff I got. I think I can make some pretty neat stuff with all this metal. Keep your coin. I want my stuff."
All right.
Two old gold pieces. You guys take a short rest. The time goes by quickly. I think you're all a little sore, a little tired. A few of you may even nod off unless there's anything else you'd like to do specifically. Your short rest will come to its end. But before it does, Bernie, roll me a perception check.
Ah, bless it. 7.
Anything anybody wants to do before the short rest ends?
Gosh.
Yes, song of
Yeah.
rest. Let's do Song of Rest.
Song of Rest?
Oh yeah.
Any candles in this
Okay.
room?
Oops. Sorry. It's not what I
Yeah,
wanted to do.
sure.
Can I do the thing I was talking about before? which is.
Just tell me again what it is you want to do.
So I
There
want
it
to
is.
coat an arrowhead in candle wax. And
Okay.
then I want to slowly open the top to the leather pouch that has the rot grub inside and slide
Okay.
the tip of the arrowhead in really slowly and then tie it back
Okay.
up.
After what's covered in the wax,
The
and then
arrowhead.
tie it back up.
Yep.
Okay. And you're tying
Around
the
the-
arrowhead in wax.
I'm tying the leather pouch
So
around
what?
the head of the. Yeah, so the tie will be on
Yeah,
the shaft.
like you want to put. Yeah. So, but what's the point of waxing the arrowhead? Just out of
So it
curiosity.
doesn't puncture the leather pouch when I'm carrying it around and let a rot grub crawl on my neck and get in my brain.
Gotcha. But hoping that the force of it when fired will be enough to puncture
Yeah.
the pouch
Yes.
when it hits, and then the grub could potentially crawl out and bite something.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. All right, this is going to require quite a few rolls, Joe.
Okay.
The first roll will be to make sure you fully cover the arrowhead in wax.
Okay.
The next one will be to carefully open the pouch and sticking the arrowhead in, without, risking getting bitten yourself.
Mhm.
And then the last one, will be to just, safely, kind of tie it all back up. So, I'm gonna need I gotta figure this all out really quick. This is 3 checks, a little skill challenge. You gotta get all 3 right without failing a single one.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna say that's gonna be this. That's gonna be this. And that's gonna be this. Alright, I am going to need an intelligence check for your first one. You can use. I'll let you use nature for this one if you'd like.
Okay. I will. That is my 5th nat 1 of the night. For a 7.
Jeez.
Oh my god. All right.
Wow.
Roll me. I'm not going to tell you if you pass or fail any of these. We're just going to do all of them. Roll me for the arrowhead. This is kind of like a nerves of steel moment. You have to do this very meticulous and correct. I want to make this like constitution based. So I think I'm going to need a constitution check from you to just to open it up and to like slowly move it in there, like do it quick enough and like precisely enough that you don't let it out and you get it in there and you're able to like immediately start to tie it up again. So just a straight D20 plus your con modifier.
Oh, that's a save.
Are there any constitution-based
Damn it.
skills? Oh,
No.
nice. That's okay. We'll use the same roll,
Is that
and
a
I think
nat
it's the
20?
same.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I don't think
nat
you're
20.
proficient in
It's
like that.
yeah, it's
so
the
it should be
exact same.
thing.
So it is, yeah.
Yeah. And then lastly, roll me a sleight of hand check as you quickly tie it back up.
Gosh.
Jesus.
No, I have no idea what this is crazy.
Kitland, you have successfully created a rock rub arrow.
What? Holy shit, dude. I was ready for that shit to come out and bite his ass.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wow.
It's not
and-
dubious food.
And you throw it into your quiver or keep it on your side. Where are you trying to keep it on your person?
I'm gonna keep it in my quiver, but with the feather part down. Just there's like less pressure on the arrowhead and the grub.
Gotcha. So the arrowhead is like pointing up, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. real quick, can you go any slower, computer? Can you make one more D20 roll for me? I need a Constitution saving throw.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh. That's not terrible.
Damn.
You put the arrow in the back of your quiver. You feel like the short rest is coming to an end. People are waking up from their naps, starting to get their stuff together. You see, Droop is very clumsily trying to put his large stack of weapons, back on his back. And Kitlin, you feel a sharp pain in the back of your
Oh,
neck as if something
no.
has just
No!
bitten you.
No, 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 no.
And where this sharp pain would send most people into like a type of shock, you are able to fight your way through the pain and grab the single rot grub off the back of your neck and throw it to the ground, killing it instantly before it can begin
Oh.
burrowing its way into your brain.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oof.
god!
Woof.
From the ground, trying to get back up with this large bag on his back, Droop says,
I told you were gotta be careful with those guys.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Jesus.
Oh my god!
So yeah, Joe,
Goodness
you failed 2 of the 3 checks that you needed to create that
Yeah,
arrow.
holy shit, dude.
Shit. That
Figured.
Oh
was,
my god.
That-
I figured.
Well, hopefully that's the worst rolling I do for the entire whole campaign.
Dude,
God.
Five
That's
nat ones. That's
insane.
wild, dude.
That's
hey,
insane.
but you know
a
what,
new
Joe?
record.
Joe, here's the thing. You made the roll that counted, and that was the very last one of the night. Because if that was a slightly lower number, that could have been a very different note to end on.
We would be
Oh,
setting
shit.
you on fire.
Yeah, we would be literally setting you on fire. Yeah.
Sorry about it.
So,
Would
did we
be
finish the
awful.
short rest, or are we
So
just gonna?
yeah, real quick, the last official thing you can do is finish your short rest.
Okay, cool.
Okay, perfect. Finishing the short
Great.
rest.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we I think are very close to maybe wrapping up this dungeon, which I hope to do next time. I know it's getting late. I know some of us aren't feeling well, so if you need to log off and just